3, and we are getting them right now. Here they come.
Skyscraper
Bank, Cafe, Oregon, Border, and Chalet.
Especially from Latin America, the region itself, usually after an event, some of the top teams will kind of shuffle in between players, but FaZe themselves have been together for a while. Even when they have obstacles in their way or they don't do as well, they just sturdy up as a team and play even better the next event. And they've kept improving every event, always dominating Latin America. So, you know, this event, maybe it's, they got top 8 or top 4 last event, and now they're here to get at least top 2.
FaZe have picked Clubhouse to be where we're going to open up, which Millenium have not played this season.
Plus, it's a bit interesting for FaZe to do that because one of their biggest strengths, at least previously, has been to hunt roamers on bigger maps. They are very, very good at just shutting down a group of roamers. It doesn't matter if you're 1, 2, or 3 roamers. Astra and team will just walk in on you, and you can't get back to site. They block you in and then keep pushing, and they always win that roam clear.
Our second pick is the opposite of what I've just said. Coastline's been picked by Millenium, and FaZe haven't played that.
It's weird to see because usually Latin American teams are more proficient on bigger maps. The more roaming, the more mobility they have, the better they do. So maybe on Clubhouse we'll see a more aggressive playstyle, unlike the passive, everyone plays in basement, everyone plays in bar playstyle. And then Coastline, you know, usually European teams like to play the more strat-heavy maps. As for Coastline, it's still hasn't been. It doesn't have a set meta. There's nothing specific to it that you do and you'll win, like Clubhouse, where you just kind of set your basic reinforcements. Coastline, every bomb site's viable, everything can happen, and we haven't seen a whole lot of it yet.
Well, I think Millenium is going to be really happy if they get to third map, unless they 2-0, of course. But Consulate is a map we've seen played a lot in the French scene, a lot, and all the way back to Youngtis. 2 of these players were amazing on that map. So they might have some old school stuff they'll pull out.
And Consulate, like we said, was one of the most balanced maps, and in our previous matchup we also mentioned that it is really good at rotates, and that's what usually wins some players their rounds. So FaZe is one of the best teams at rotates. Latin America is one of the best regions at rotates and roam. So I mean, I still think they'll put up a fight on third map.
So that's what we should look out for. If you haven't seen much of the Latin American scene, or if you haven't watched FaZe in particular, rotates is something we're expecting from them. Millenium, I'm saying that this game isn't perhaps as one-sided as it could appear just from looking at sort of cold hard data and stuff. What do Millenium have to do to make sure not only is it not one-sided, but it's their side that wins it eventually?
Well, of course, Clubhouse, nobody's seen Millenium play on it yet. So they're going to bring up some stuff. We saw that how well Norengo did, and everyone underestimated them. Now, if you're underestimating Millenium, you know, they're going to put up a fight as well. Well,
funny enough, the maps we say that we've never seen teams play, we could refer to it with Nora, we could refer to it with Pensa when they played Clubhouse the first time back at Gamescom. They win those maps.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing to refer to. You don't.
But we have that for each of these teams this season.
Yeah.
So our first 2 maps, one team hasn't ever played it this season, and the other one hasn't.
If it would have been a while back, it kind of looks like their 2 maps have been switched. Like it looks like Millenium would have picked Clubhouse and FaZe would have picked Coast.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You can go.
No, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So and then Consulate's kind of like a mesh of both. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe FaZe will play passive and that Millenium will be the aggressive side. Because we were talking to them before and they said they had a lot of kind of stuff hidden for
which team you're talking about?
Millenium. Millenium had a lot of hidden stuff, and I guess that's why they're pulling out Clubhouse. So, you know, maybe I'd like to see like something different on Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is usually the same thing.
And Livin was saying backstage that they kind of changed the way they play. I mean, a lot of teams say they're going to bring something new, they have a new strat, something, but I'm pretty excited to see if that's true.
Do you think it's true?
Livin,
he wouldn't say it to you if it wasn't true.
Livin likes taking
chances. A lot of teams, well, I mean, we're talking about the guy who had his 2 teammates fight with baguettes behind him. So, I mean, a lot of teams will say, oh, we've switched things, we've changed up our whole strat. Yes, but sometimes a team will keep to its bases. So maybe certain plays and certain positions will be different, but the majority of it will be the same.
I'm excited about this one. I'm excited to see, well, also first chance we get to see what Latin America are bringing to the finals. Liquid will be in our final game today against Fnatic. That feels very far away from now, if I'm honest with you, after the way this contest has gone so far. We will crack on with it. Let's do that. Let's take you to FaZe against Millenium in the Pro League Season 7 finals. We have Emzo back, we have Milos back, and we've got another great contest, guys. FaZe and Millenium live from Atlantic City.
Thank you very much, Matt. And I cannot wait for this game. As someone that came in a year ago and supported the Brazilians all the way, very hyped up for it. And
you also like the French.
Yeah, just a bit. And you guys kind of, you know, give me a hard time here and there about it, but we'll see. We'll see. This is basically two of my favorite teams that are playing. Millenium, currently the second seed in EU, but also technically second best team in France right after Vitality. Yeah. They played at their basically French championship. Vitality was able to win there at Gamers Assembly, and well, FaZe Clan, of course, as Matt and the desk mentioned, they only fell to Team Liquid, even in BR6, their own local tournament. But then won it in Revenge.
In the Revenge match, they did 2-0. So maybe that was just a slip up and off day, but Millenium have had a lot of good days as well. So I think Millenium over the season really just kind of came out of nowhere to us. I think a lot of us were expecting them to be kind of middle of the pack at best, not to end up here. So this has been an impressive showing for them all around. And I think, as they said at the analyst desk, they have been changing up the way they played. They talked about that last time in the interview with Liven as well, and they showed it during their last matchup. So I think they've definitely proven that they have changed the way they play in a very positive way. But the map pool itself is going to be very interesting because both the first maps, both teams have won once and lost once. So we had FaZe win Clubhouse once and lose it once. We had Millenium win Coastline once and lose it once, although that was a 5-0 to Penta.
Yeah.
And then Consulate, interestingly, the decider, because FaZe have won that 3 times. Millenium have won it twice, so that is a perfect decider. I think this is probably the best possible map pool we can end up with in terms of these two teams. And we'll see if they win each other's maps or not, because we saw, for example, what happened with Rogue and Norengo. Yeah, it's very difficult to say, and I imagine when you've played these maps, you've also showed what you do on these maps during the Pro League season. So both these teams obviously going to do the research. They're going to study, be prepared for this. They know what their matchups are well ahead of time. So. And
speaking of studying, of course, both teams benefit from the huge amount of experience from both of their organizations, with FaZe Clan and Millenium having very big coaching team, each one coming in with a couple coaches as well that are helping them. These are only the people that are here on site, let alone the people that are back home that are already prepping and making sure that everything in life is easy for these players to perform at the top level. Because right now we've had 2 fantastic games to start off the Pro League finals. Now we go Millenium, FaZe, 2 of the best teams in their own regions respectively. How will this play out? Will it be one-sided? Will it be as close as both our previous games have been?
I think it's a good chance to see this also go to 3 maps. I mean, it's interesting too coming out of these 2 regions, because you have 2 regions that are very language independent and very, very big on the game. You have France is very big on this game.
Oh, yes.
So is Latin America. So they're both very, as we like to say, passionate countries and teams, and it's going to show here. I think there's going to be a lot of passion, a lot of screaming at the desks, as we like to see. Now the Canadians not there screaming for us, so it is, I think, going to be a lot of up and downs in terms of momentum, motivation, excitement. You'll probably see some good streaks back and forth. I mean, we also see a lot of teams that'll drop the first couple rounds. It's no big surprise. We saw even Penta dropping some rounds at the beginning of their matchup against EG.
Take some time just to warm up and get into the groove.
Rogue.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see if both teams here have that. I was talking to Rogue beforehand about their matchup, and they're like, you know what, it took us a while to warm up, and we're not ready for how good they are, because they kind of got baited by how the aim game for Norengo was. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. FaZe Clan v Millenium, Brazil versus France. We'll see how this one ends up as we start off with map number 1, Clubhouse. You head in, have a bit of fun, and listen to some music there.
Well, actually, we're going to start on Coastline for whatever reason. It's the opposite of the way the pick displayed it. So this should be interesting for Millenium, especially as they, for example, got 5-0'd on it, but they also played very well in the other matchup, not against Penta. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down for them, because the one thing they've shown, especially against 1UP, was fantastic control of the roamers. Because of that made a huge difference in their winning. They controlled it so well, and now they're going to be on the roam, starting on defense. You got Yogurt on Vigil, and that'll be interesting to play. But then you've got the counter to that with Gohan on Dokkaebi. And then Blackbeard, of course, probably going to see him on some windows, as he does so well on this map, because they are going to start on Penthouse. So that window right there, just to the right of the B-bomb, is a famous window for Blackbeard. You just have to be able to guard against runouts. And then, of course, the mirror windows. We do see one on a soft wall on the left, which we talked about before is a little bit of a risky proposition. They could also put one on the right, which they are doing right now. play both angles. Having the soft one on the other side allows you to throw a C4 over the bed if they try and go for plant for that. So this is a good setup to start with, but it's also a typical setup. This is one FaZe can play into.
One thing to keep in mind is that since Millenium is a French team, they get to practice a lot against Vitality, especially leading up to this. Thing is, Vitality is one of the best teams that play Coastline.
Well,
so,
EU loves this map right now, so this is definitely a disadvantage for
reminds us of back home, right?
It's a European map.
Yeah, there you go. So, but in more point of it, this is a map that Europe is comfortable on, but also the two French teams are some of the best on it. Anyways, they get to practice on it. They get to see how you can break your opponent's playstyle as well, and it works very well for Millenium that are preparing for this against FaZe.
So interesting, we see Blackbeard with the DMR, but then the Buck with just the usual C8. Not going to bring out the DMR on that, but then of course you've got the DMR of Gohak on the Dokkaebi. So there's going to be some good DMR action between those two, and then of course Astro going to be thrown in that FAMAS. So as he, of course, playing Twitch, right? Anytime he plays anything else, it's pretty much a throw at that point. So good choice by him continuing to propagate that trend. But now they're going to try and take control from the aquarium side, it looks like. Be able to push in from that balcony, make sure they can control the other side of the map before they go for the push onto the actual bomb site. But there are a few spread out roamers here, trying to make sure you've got Rise actually playing somewhat aggressively in the Hall of Fame here. He did have that camera he threw out at the beginning to be able to get an idea when they're playing on that patio, so he can try and go for a push out. We saw how effective that was on Bank, for example, when you have those cameras and you can know exactly how to time it. There's some good DMR action happening already. Of course, you got two good guns there from Dokkaebi. You can use the DMR for long range, and then SMG-12 is pretty brutal at close range, as we've seen before from Kanto earlier.
We've seen it so many times, basically, especially for a Vigil, when you can switch around between two great guns to use with here. Of course, Gohan is playing around on the Dokkaebi. They can use that logic bomb to time in their pushes, and it's a different way to go for an aggressive push or to clear out your opponents compared to playing Ying, which is basically flashing them instead of getting information by just hearing where the call is coming from. Astro just joining in here, trying to find maybe an angle where he can slip in with his Twitch drone and take down a mirror window, because there is one soft window that's set up in the theater, and the second one is a full hard wall.
Yogurt's playing a nice position there. If he can stay stealthy, all the eyes are going to be on Rise, trying to get him out of that position so they take control of VIP. Because of that, if Yogurts can avoid just being droned here, unfortunately, he did not see Astro's drone. He's going to be caught out. Now he's, I imagine, going to be a little overconfident, and there goes Rise to start with. So now it is all on the Vigil there to try and hold that room. And unfortunately for him, his phone is ringing.
Yeah, surprisingly, Hall of Fame is not the main entryway of FaZe on the attack. Would have been maybe easier to clear out these two roamers, but no, Livin will get one on Cameraman, and they take down the Buck, so the grenades happen to remove play here. Livin very close up as he pushes up, but no, Higgs will get the team kill. What is going on here? 2 kills in the way of FaZe, as Renshiro was the last man alive on the Miro. We've seen him do the clutches before, but no, Mav is ready and gets the headshot. And I'm not sure if that C4 throw from the Bandit was coordinated with the Jaeger, because
yeah, that seemed like an impromptu call that they just thought, oh, I didn't succeed on the Bandit trick, I'm going to go for it. And yeah, it was a little bit too hectic for them. I don't think they were prepared for the way that FaZe attacked that. Was a little bit unconventional. As you mentioned, usually most teams will use that balcony outside the VIP to push in, at least use the window or the door. The camera was there waiting for that. Rise was waiting for it. But then the great droning by Astro, using the cover, going through the drone hole instead of coming in through the doorway, either of the doorways, where they would have expected that drone. He used the drone hole instead, got underneath the furniture, spotted them out, went around for the peek, got the one that was exposed, and then was ready to fight Vigil if need be. So excellent play, just playing it unconventional and coming from a different side than they expected, opening the wall on the other side of Theater. So overall, just Millenium not prepared for FaZe's style. However, it is their turn on the attack here. Will the defense be as unconventional as I was talking about earlier? They're great on that roam control. Will they be able to pull it off here? No Vigil coming out from FaZe.
Yeah, that's the great plays we missed there from Livin. Of course, we're showing as many of these replays as possible, so you guys can catch all the action that happened, even though some of it, cannot be shown. There's so much that happens, especially when you have multiple kills going on in a row. And of course, it's a new system we're testing out, and so far it's been pretty darn good.
Definitely like it. So they are setting up in the same bomb spot, but they're going to set up a little bit differently. They're already opening a bunch of holes in the floor. You see Gohak shotgunning the floor as much as possible to get an angle down. I mean, that's a difficult spot to play safely, as they do also have a Blackbeard, and Renshiro is a very, very good Blackbeard. So it is no surprise to see him playing that, and that is what I would be the most concerned about with Millenium, is making sure you don't get caught in an angle where Renshiro's pinning you down, because you will get pinned down hard. They also have Yogurts on that Twitch, but then they're also going to be bringing in Dokkaebi, surprisingly. And then Rise on the IQ, they will be able to spot out those cameras if there are any hanging out outside from Mav here. There are at least one inside, and then of course the mute jammers as well.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Well, Mav is going to try to set up his black eyes here, making them a bit more difficult to spot. Now Rise coming around with his IQ. I'm going to try to get all the information on there. This is why you're bringing, it reminds you a lot of, Consulate plays where you will have pretty much always an IQ to take down any cameras that are set up. There's quite a few cameras on here, including the ones from Valkyrie. So you can get information, and this information is very important for FaZe if they want to play around and get a bit more aggressive towards Millenium. Yeah, so they try to run in Renshiro very slowly into the bar.
It's an aggressive push here, bringing a Blackbeard in here instead of using the window. Yeah. But at the same time, he knows how to play. He's using a lot of angles where he's not exposing his body and being smart about his shield usage. As I said, he's a Blackbeard main, so no surprise that he knows how to play this correctly, but he's going to walk into a situation now where if that's not droned properly, he's walking into a lot of crossfires. However, 2 drones are making sure that he's safe, so they are droning him in very heavily, and Hicks also watching across here to make sure no one comes across the lobby on his flank. So good teamwork overall from Millenium, but Astro just gets cocky here and takes a bit of damage from the Blackbeard, and now he's got to watch out for Hicks on the doorway as well.
And that's the problem. They rotate in here to the security rooms. Yogurts gets the first kill for his team on Astro, taking down the Jaeger that was damaged previously. He'll jump on into the sunroom. The security's right next to him. That's Mav in there. He'll land the shot, but he takes quite a bit of damage in the wake of it.
Good
Flash is going to get thrown in from Hicks on the Habana as Renshiro coming in from the other side to try and pinch that Valkyrie out. Now, yeah, there we go. He's going to spot the rifle and he gets the information.
All right, but he's got to play off it still. This is all about timing, and we saw what happened when Noarenga was just on top of those peaks. Oh, the C4 rip scares him away, that Velcro sound of death.
Ooh. Able to get the kill and just downing the Valkyrie right before the C4 goes off, and Livin will clean up Mav now. FaZe are remodeling the penthouse here. They set up for a push from the backside. Have to deal with the stairs. Cameraman playing downstairs in the kitchen.
This is a very spread out attack. They're definitely going around to try and control as much of the map as possible, but not necessarily holding it. They're looking for picks early, trying to weaken FaZe, and they've done so. They've gotten 2 picks, only lost Yogurts in the process, so Millenium know what they're doing, but 38 seconds left, and time management starting to become a problem.
This is very much a friends thing. Take your time. Take your time, and sometimes it's not a great strategy because you end up having no time to push, and there's 25 seconds on the clock. Rise is going to try to land the grenade in as Renshiro cleans up Moringa downstairs. Or at least, actually, upstairs, that's the smoke being removed. They still have to face Gohan here. Does have a C4 to play around with. Cameraman will hit the headshot on Livin. Now, do they spot Gohan? No, they don't. The C4 comes out and they'll get it already. But Rise will refrag. 5 seconds remaining. Cameraman is downstairs. Does he spot him? No, he does not. He's going to go in for the plant, and Nitro Cell is no longer available for Cameraman. And you know what? Round 1 in this match is, round 2 here is already going to be a potential clutch for either one of the 2 players here. They'll spot out the mute, who's going to try to get a bit of a spray, but Rise needs to go for the reload. Pulls out the P12. Cameraman barely having half a magazine in hand. Cameraman spraying in through the bookshelf, trying to get an angle here to take down Rise. Is going to spot him and take them down. Rise will clutch the round out for Millenium. That was almost a FaZe victory.
Yeah, that was very close. I mean, Rise probably didn't need to play it that aggressively, but he has the speed advantage, he has the gun advantage, he has the cover from the bomb, whereas there's no cover in that hallway. So it probably was the best play in terms of aggression, just making sure he couldn't walk through that doorway enough. And it worked, but it was very close. But that was 2 attack rounds in a row, proving that the penthouse not working for either team, although I would say it was definitely much closer for FaZe than it was for Millenium on defense. So Millenium going to their other bomb site that is actually sometimes their primary, Blue and Sunrise. This should be interesting. We saw some good Blue Sunrise defense earlier in that last matchup, but it's a hard bomb site to defend well. The last time it was really down to Noarenga with really great flicks and great smoke play down there. We'll see if they can pull off the same thing on Millenium. Pretty much the same lineup coming from FaZe for the most part. Millenium going to be bringing Castle so they can control a little bit of the flow downstairs. Now the thing about this bomb site is you do have to defend the top floor quite a bit. Some great replays here. The Rise just saving the day at the end. Nicely done though, but that was a good 1v1. Nope. 2s for pretty much everyone on FaZe except for the one at the bottom. So nicely done. Good sharing.
Good sharing coming around. And
10 seconds left.
well, now, as you said, we're going to be playing in the bar. And you know what? A perfect spot to defend is up.
Yeah, they got to play in a relax. Just a little bit. They have the mirror windows there, something that's going to help them stay in there because he can use the cover of that bar and be able to watch towards pool table and potentially the aquarium door. But they're going to depend a little bit on communicating with Yogurts to be able to play. He's also going to use his cameras to get some intel on where the approach is. So they're going to play this flexibly, which is the important thing in terms of making sure that they adapt to the way FaZe attack, because they were not prepared for the attack last time in terms of that just the attack strategy was so different than what they're used to.
All right, well, you see the buck running in here. Cameraman. Just go on up. I want to contest coming through Hall of Fame and the VIP lounge, and from there they can inch their way to the other side to get through into Hookah. This drone comes in. I'll try to spot any roamers that are setting up in here. Even if you're defending downstairs, obviously it's very important to hold the top stairs. We keep repeating them every single time because you know what? So many people, even like normal play, do not have that in mind. It's a great thing. It will help you improve your games as well, just by holding from the top side.
And they also show the idea that you always attack from the opposite side of the bomb a lot of times because you want to take control from the side that's least contested and work your way over with the map control that you have and control the stairs up. In this case, they've taken control of the opposite side, of course, which is the VIP side this time, which they were attacking last time. And now they'll be able to push their way towards the aquarium and hookah side, as there are people in there trying to contest it. Drones are going to go down, but that's going to give away their position. Those positions are pretty predefined, though, behind that bar. So, oh, there we go. Yogurts, though, taking down Mav. That is Blackbeard off the board. That's actually a very strong attacker to get early off.
Oh, this is such a difficult spot here. Playing behind the bar is very difficult, actually.
Yeah.
Push a player out of that position.
Grenades
Unless you have some flashes, set of grenades, those would be perfect.
But it is Jaeger.
Yep. Oh, they'll try to get the frag here on Astra, and they will. Rise playing from the back, and even with the M5K from the mute, get the kill. Gohan coming in, and he gets the information, but no, he doesn't fire on him. Yogurts will still get the kill. Flash gonna get thrown right into Yogurts, who runs away, and finally, no, he still gets one. He gets the last one on Marinka. What is happening here? How does Millenium do this? You're still flashed, but he'll still keep firing. He sets up in the other spot, and just spots the tiny pixel. As soon as he moves in, barely the flash going away, and he'll get the kill.
Complete lack of coordination in that attack there. The play by the Dogby was definitely smart running in like that, and that's a typical way to do it, but he's not a 3-speed operator. He wasn't ready to fire, even hip-fired right into his head. Maybe he was just going for the knife at the end. It looked like there was a little bit of a delay. You do have to be considerate of the sprint delay, but you still hip-fire.
Not just that, they also used their logic bomb, and there was a flashbang though thrown in.
Yeah,
but
it just didn't push at the same time.
Use it, throw the flashbang, logic bomb first, flashback second, and then try to push in. You know that at least there'll be something that'll disrupt the Jaeger, but no, that wasn't the case. Let's just run on in and try to get a kill.
They did it in reverse order. It should have been the Thermite with the flash first. For the run-in. But either way, that ultimately cost them the round, and that is the first defensive win of the map here. So Millenium now take a lead because of that. Rise there with 3, Yogurts with 4. Those guys definitely showing up for their team today. It has been, I'd say, fairly good despite the slow start with FaZe with a great initial attack. But now it is on FaZe trying to defend Penthouse again. Now will they be able to do it this time? Millenium have definitely warmed up a bit more, so this could be another attack win for them. They are setting up, but here we go. See if they can make it work here.
Wait. Is he actually going to throw a black eye in here? No.
Yeah, he's setting up for the right position. Oh, right. Whoa! Furniture. There we go. Just trying to get a position just right.
That is...
The Deagle plus Black Ice have definitely provided a lot of creativity in positioning.
Oh, yes. You can definitely still use it in theater. You see those big stereos. Well, if you get one shot through, you can still throw in that Valcam and just have a tiny angle to play with, and it really does help if you're expecting pushes.
They do have IQ, but it's so hard to use inside the building. That's the real trick. Is inside cameras are starting to become more valuable as IQ gets picked more, just because their cameras are going to stay around a lot longer and offer your roamers some positioning advantages for retakes if need be. Yogurt's going to be bringing in the drone, but unfortunately not catching anything just yet. There is mirror windows for him to take out, though.
Interesting part is that throughout the online season, we've seen a lot less Twitch. This time, I think everybody's realized, you know what? We can't really rely on a Thatcher all the time.
Yeah, we even saw Fabian playing it quite a bit.
It's very much a signature, well, back in the day, a signature operator for him. But here, Yogurt's bringing the Twitch for Millenium. Rise trying to, well, get to, oh no, no, no. Yogurt's, can he get it? Yes, he can. Gohan will go down.
That's why I
that's
hate
the
when that
hedge.
wall soft. Unfortunate.
That's the problem. You usually reinforce that wall and leave the other wall soft for a very good reason. You just mentioned you can get shot very easily from that window.
That window is a big problem for that room, especially when you've got usually a Blackbeard on it. In this case, Yogurt's feeling more than comfortable enough to let Renshiro do another roll. Deployable shield not helping. Unfortunately, the leg's not there, but that was also another soft wall. So he is cornered in that position, but C4 is going to make it short.
Well, that's when, at least for FaZe Clan, Yogurt's going down and almost getting the kill on cameraman that's playing right behind the wall.
He got one. He got his job done.
No, Rise coming in. Fortunately, he could not take down the mirror window that was in the back. Higgs blinded by the smoke, but we're at a minute 13 on the clock. There's quite a bit of time to play around with here, with each team having lost one. The Jaeger is going to get spotted, and finally Rise will nail a shot and take him out. The flash going to get thrown in from Renshiro just to try and burn out all the ADSs that are in the back, and of course, still information being gathered in the back. Moringa playing in here with the smoke behind the mirror window. Of course, it's a soft wall. Even the one next to it is a soft wall. So all they got to do is just shoot in, and that's why you see FaZe that are using that shield right in front of them to play with. And
covers the angle slightly.
But I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I mean, it's not been working out too well here. His damage just keeps on creeping on the smoke.
Yeah, he's about 50% health. But in the meantime, cameraman does get Rise, so that is one attacker down at least. The rest of his team doing work while Renshiro's distracted.
Higgs might just try to go in here for a plant. They are afraid of one player playing from the downstairs here. Flash get thrown in to burn in the ADS in the back. And the plant should come in with no problem. No, to see that, the push in from Moringa will get the kill on Higgs. Well, at least they'll trade around here. Renshiro now, and the Blackbeard will be forced to go in for the plant. There's little time remaining, and the Jaeger is already down, but there's still Mav and cameraman upstairs. Mav will get one, and that's it. That's all he needed. Drop the diffuser. I really have no idea what happened there with Millenium.
Absolutely just lack of coordination, where they just didn't push at the same time. You saw that, for example, the flashbang get thrown, got eaten by the ADS, fine. But then while he's trying to make the plant, Blackbeard's over there fighting with his deagle, not actually applying the pressure he needs.
I don't think he was even looking through that one doorway that he has to defend.
No, it was definitely lack of coordination. You saw the lack of coordination at the end there as well. They just were not able to fight. They knew where the smoke was. He was pinned down. They just could not push him hard enough. And then the great plays from below. I like Rise catching that Jaeger down there, though the patience from Sunrise Bar, holding that angle into that kitchen door, absolutely paid off, but they just could not finish the execute. And now we went from 2 attack rounds in a row to 2 defense rounds in a row, which means we get to switch up the bomb sites. And here's the real surprise. We're going to go to Hookah.
All right.
This is the least played by far defensive site and a difficult one to hold. But Millenium, as they've said, they play unconventional. We've seen them play Bathroom Tellers, for example, on Border. They will play Blue Sunrise a lot. They will do what they want to do.
2 things. Wondering how the Echo is going to be played. 2, no Castle. Castle's been very important in slowing down the opponents, especially here, because you basically go balcony into your aquarium and directly into a site.
Yeah, they'll be counting on a bit of trap meta as they're going to have the Ela and the Legion, so they'll be able to place quite a few traps to get some intel on the approach and be able to adjust as necessary. That will also give Echo a chance, if he needs to rotate his yokai, but that depends on good callouts and good audio from their team in terms of making sure they know where that approach is from. But Rise needs to stay alive and not get over-aggressive. So you can see he's trying to find his positioning, but he's got to be smart about it, because if he dies early, then he's kind of ineffective in terms of using that to deny the plant. I mean, obviously, because he's dead. But it's not something like, well, Yogurt's, for example, if he dies with some Legion traps, can still contribute to the win potentially, but not if Rise dies. So they are just definitely reinforcing a lot here. As you said, they don't have the castle. Instead, they're going to count on just reinforcing and opening up the holes where they want them to, and hope that they walk into those. But there is going to be a Blackbeard again, so Blackbeard can use some of those holes to his advantage and peek through, and then some good droning again coming out from Astro. I mean, you don't necessarily expect a lot of droning coming out from the Shock Drone, as it usually has particular jobs to do, but Astro plays it smart and conservative because he's been playing Twitch for so long.
He is definitely one of the best, if not the best, Twitch that you'd ever like to have on your team.
Absolutely. And
so having him, he knows exactly how to sneak around, play that drone to take down any mirror windows that are set up against him, any utility that's set up. He sniped so many mirror windows during this Pro League season, even when Twitch was on the down.
I like the way Yogurt's is playing this, because you know he's going to have Legion Mines there. When someone tries to enter, he's going to be able to go for the peek at just the right time, and that might cost Blackbeard his life. That phone call didn't actually get him out of that position. So this is working out because Mav is completely stalled, and he's not going to see any Legion Mines there that are stalling him out. He's just concerned with that stairwell hole.
Still hearing it. There you go. Yogurts finally will turn off his phone.
Heard one Legion mine go off, so now he's in a position to do something about it. But he's got to worry about Blackbeard as well. Got to be careful.
I would not contest the Blackbeard here, even though the shield has taken a bit of damage. It is still up Mav with 4 bullets in the magazine here, or the SR-25. Of course, the SR-25 has pretty much replaced the Mark 17 in terms of the Blackbeard main meta. So because of the amount of damage and penetration damage that you can do with it, it definitely helps a player like Mav or like Renshiro for Millenium hit through walls, take down the soft wall, shoot through them at any smoke or anyone that's sitting behind it. It's gone, it's coming around from the side, but Astro will be the first one to get a kill here on Hicks the Smoke. That is a pretty big kill early on.
There's some of those traps going off, some of those Grismont mines, but they're in a position where he wasn't ready to capitalize on it. Now Legion's actually trapped in this position. Blackbeard wasn't ready to capitalize on it. Yep, great head.
Oh, what is that? Yogurts! He'll get the kill sneaking through, and still 1v1's the Blackbeard to take him out. Cameraman holding very close up in the hallway is Hookah. Will be Yogurts yet again for a kill, but Cameraman will get one on Renshiro. A push in quickly from Yogurts as he takes down one. There we go. The second spot at him. Astro will get the kill to tie it 2v2. Gohan going in for the plant, but Rise is on the other side, trying to delay things with his drone. Will try to spot him, but he's playing the pool table perfectly. 8 seconds left on the clock. Can he deny it one more time as the Twitch is trying to close this one out? He will hit it. There's 2 seconds left. One more time. Does he even have a charge? Yes, he does! And Millenium perfectly on the Echo. They'll defend this here and deny FaZe Clan the plan.
The strategy of playing it under the pool table, that requires expert timing, but so effective. You saw that just waiting for that perfect timing. You know he's practiced that. But a lot of credit over to Yogurts on that Legion with a 3K in a situation where he should have been pinned down by that Blackbeard. Playing it so well and bringing it to a point lead here for Millenium. Well done by Yogurts, and then great job by, I think it was Rise on that Echo. Fantastic combination between those two alone to help with that round. And there were so many people left alive as well to push on that if that Echo wasn't able to do his job. So fantastic play. We're going to see a Rook actually here from Gohan, and they're going to be playing down in Kitchen.
This is not a usual thing to see from Brazil in general, but FaZe Clan especially. I'll remind you that Yogurts was able to get the 3K that pretty much won the round there and made it a lot easier for the Echo playing on the other side of the map. Of course, Rise, his teammate, to win things out. How does he 1v1 a Blackbeard that has a full shield when he was fully spotted and has to run away behind a soft wall mirror window?
You got to play against that Blackbeard's confidence and use the fact that he's going to push confidently in a certain
Look
situation.
at that. It's not just the biceps. Look, Yogurts, he's got, great biceps, spends a lot of time at the gym, that's for sure, but right now he is putting that entire team on his back and he's trying to carry it to victory.
Yogurts with that culture. So Kitchen should be interesting here for these guys because this is going to be not what Millenium's expecting, I don't think, for this attack. They're bringing pretty much the same lineup they have been bringing. But
immediately sniped!
Take it out the window. That is an important window to watch that door. Now he cannot watch that door securely. He's going to open it up instead, set up a bit of a rotate. But now that bomb is not necessarily controlling that hole.
Yogurts, what are you doing here? Instantly taking down the mirror window.
MVP right now at the moment for this team, for sure.
Millenium, of course, relying on the Blackbeard a lot more than what their other French counterparts, Vitality, would play, which is basically, let's bring a glass and we'll just take control of that. You see them, Renshiro, second time here. Just going through the pole entrance into Sunrise.
Oh, the door is closed this time. Now, of course, that's because they're playing in Kitchen, but he's still going to open up an angle for himself with the Deagle, do some light remodeling, although I think the range is kind of affecting its ability to destroy. He's going to have to finish the job with the SR-25, but now he's going to open up more angles here. The double door not being a problem because he doesn't need to move through it. And actually using the doors to make sure that they cannot contest him is going to work to his advantage because it's all about angles for him. Although IQ comes in and opens up the door, so, well, there's that. Nice.
This is one of the greatest parts of Siege, of course, the micro-destruction that you get to use to remodel, as you said, the map and play it to your advantage.
Well, the roaming Rook, interesting choice there from Gohan. He's going to be hoping some long angles work in his favor, but he's playing some interesting positions and gets spotted by Hicks' drone. And now he's going to have to slowly clomp his way to another location, as Liven's going to drone him as well.
Renshiro still holding the one angle he really does need to hold. And other than that, it's just securing the hallway, and you see through the hallway. Bit of a move coming in here from his opponents. Gohan will still get it. The MP5 will hit, and Rise will be able to clean him up, but losing the Blackbeard, it's a bit of a problem here because you're basically bringing that Rook to get a pick or two. That's it.
That was awkward because he knew he was there. Oh, the drone hold. Unfortunate. The FaMAS just tears through his toes like it's nothing. Yogurts again, dominating now a 3v4. Huge advantage to Millenium, not just in points.
The thing is, Gohan was even running a Millennium Charm on his MP5.
That's nice.
So it says a decent chunk of respect there. But Rise is going to try to come in here with the IQ as they have forfeited Sunrise Bar for just a sec. Astro rotating around through the main lobby. You see the grenades are still both in the hands, in the pockets of Rise, ready to catch them all if need be.
Well, definitely a lot of angles coming out here, and Astro hoping to do what Rook couldn't finish on Gohan, but he's getting phone called, and that's going to hugely delay his push. As 38 seconds left here, they need that extra time to make this push happen, but Astro is such great position.
They should be able to hear him here as he rotated around. See them on the floor, but their teammate in the back here, Millennium, should be able to spot him. Grenade's going to get taken down, and Astro immediately capitalizing on the kill. Livin comes in from the back, and just a bit too slow on it. Would have saved his teammate. Rise with one more. The FaMAS will not win this one here for Yogurts, but Rise is ready as he lands the last kill as well on Cameraman. The 4K from Rise, rising from the ashes. This is definitely Millennium.
Speaking of 4, already match point here for Millennium. Going off on a little bit of a back and forth, proving though that they are the superior team on Coastline despite that 5-0 Penta gave them earlier, that bit of a spanking during the season. They've proven they've learned from that as well as their match against 1UP. So they are ready for FaZe. A little bit of a hiccup at the beginning in terms of not necessarily being prepared for how FaZe play, because FaZe are still playing this in very interesting ways. The way they're flanking around from positions they're not expecting, like Gohan and Astro with those flanks. But despite getting caught off, they're trading them every time. So both Astro and Gohan got a kill out of it, but they were quickly traded, and that's why Millennium are doing so good. Being ready to trade on those, even those amazing flanks coming out of FaZe is really leaving FaZe in a bad position, especially since it's some of their good fraggers that are dying in those trades.
All
right, well now we're Millennium on the defense, and they're going to be playing in the kitchen here. They bring Yogurts on the Legion. And that's going to be actually very, very good for them, because they're gonna, if they're going to play through the stairs, hold the bar and hold the cool vibe stairs, that Legion will cause a lot of trouble for FaZe Clan.
He can also help Hicks as well to stay a little more secure. You can put it around his perimeter. He can play in a position where he can watch up above him and not be tripped up by anyone flanking around from him, because they will hit the Legion mine and scream a little bit on their way to him.
Well, Renshiro yet again on the Mira, a player that knows when to go on and off. Sometimes he'll play right behind that window the entire round, and sometimes, you know what, he'll jump out of the window.
He's been a fantastic Mira player all season, as well as the way he's been playing on Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Definitely playing to his mains, playing to his strengths, and that's why this team's ahead. They're playing to exactly what they know how to do.
I wonder what it's going to be when we have the bans phase next season for...
well, we know what Renshiro's getting banned on him. That's for sure, so...
That's for sure. Well, we'll see here, of course, Livin bringing even his Rook, so the MP5 of the Aegon.
Funny to have Mav on Blackbeard, because we have some players that are always like consistent shield players. He's been a fantastic Blitz player, so he's going to be playing a different kind of shield.
We have seen 0 Blitz so far. So.
Which is, yeah, it's been a little bit different. We still have one Latin American team to play and a couple of Mavs.
Oh, Liquid. Well. If anybody knows how to play it, it definitely is Liquid. Fortunately, Black Dragons are not here to show us their play style with Julio. But that aside, Millennium. So playing around with Higgs, probably downstairs on the pulse, trying to get information to play around with the C4. That is one of the 2 that they have in hand. Of course, Mav trying to go for a quick peek here, maybe catching somebody off here. Cameraman taking a lot of damage at Rise. Clean him up in the penthouse bathroom as he tries to spray through the wall. Astro will get taken down as well from the back. Yogurts with a perfect play there. They spot one, but Mav will get the kill for himself. Yogurts will get called for just a second. And this is just to give a bit more help and information to the Blackbeard on the outside that falls back. Very interesting here that Mav is able to immediately get on the window to help. Unfortunately, a bit too late as he lost 2 players with it. I would lose a Jaeger any day of the week if it means that I can take down a Twitch and a Habana.
I mean, again, Millennium were ready to trade. Yogurts was there to trade his teammate. I mean, it was unfortunate Rise died, but he completely capitalized on it, and now they're again at a man advantage on match point. So Millennium sticking together as a team, playing strong as a team, is really working out for them here. Now that Mav just sitting there by himself on a doorway, being a great distraction, sure, but the rest of his team is going around not accomplishing a whole lot here in terms of map control.
Of course, we have not seen a French team in the semifinals ever since the days of Youngtis, so maybe Millenium can bring it back here for our French compatriots. However, Livin, yeah, he'll get one more here. 2 left alive, Gohan and Mav, as one logic bomb is still available for Gohan, and he will use it here to help Mav in the clear. Unfortunately for him, Livin is ready, and he's playing right by the bar. Last man alive here is Gohan. He tries to play with the SMG-12 up close and personal. That's where it shines, and he'll go down to Renshiro. Millenium will take map number 1 very convincingly, Devin.
What a great clutch attempt, but man, Millenium, we're ready. That was their map, of course, something we talked about earlier, something they have a lot of experience on. We hadn't seen much Coastline at all from Latin America, let alone from FaZe. So obviously the advantage there to Millenium, but they played it to a T. A little bit of a rough start at the beginning in terms of losing some plays, but they played fantastic, especially Yogurts. Look at that. 10, and then Rise with 8 as well. We had some great team play between those two, covering for each other.
Oh yeah,
Yogurts
that's one of the highlights. Of course, Yogurts being so good in this game. He had the blunder on the Habana previously, but you know what? Brought it back, and you didn't see in the 4K on the IQ for Rise. This is Millenium that are really bringing it here, because we thought, oh yeah, you know, kind of Vitality would be a better team to have here if you would have representation from France, especially after they beat Millenium in a LAN environment. But you know what? They're definitely showing it. Here you see Livin talking to Capel, their coach. He's giving them all the info. You see
a little strat book.
Everybody's ready. Everybody's got a ton of strat books. So much in there. This is basically what things boil down to. How can you communicate with your coach and get as little work done by the players, just for them to focus on the game and be ready for it.
You really need that high level to be done by your IGL and your coach, so you can really focus on your gameplay and focus on your team play and communication, rather than on trying to decide, okay guys, where are we attacking this round? You need to be on top of that well ahead of time. We've seen so far that they seem to be in command in terms of the way that they're playing. But this is going to be interesting to me, because Clubhouse has been one that's been a lot more of a Latin American favorite this season, something that used to be played by a lot of other regions, but Latin America's just been playing the heck out of it in a way that we don't see in other regions. So for example, we see super attack heavy strats winning on Clubhouse, especially in North America, but for whatever reason, in Latin America, they seem to be able to win on defense, which means Millenium are going to have an interesting time trying to fight down an Arsenal, but if they play their typical defensive heavy wins, that also means FaZe is going to have to go up to bar and have to defend that as well as they do the basement, or it's just going to be win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and then it comes down to whether Millenium can do the same.
Well, FaZe Clan maybe reeling a bit from that first map, because it was convincingly a Millenium victory every single time. We used to say that in online play, that Millenium face a bit of a problem when they're playing against teams that roam a lot or that spread out and go for picks in unison. I think Millenium has very much learned how to be much better than it, and use it against their opponents, like you saw there at the end with a final clip where they got 3 kills out of it. Should not have happened.
I think it was back in Season 3 of last year where we were talking about Millenium just really struggling with the roam game all the time, and then we saw them just come alive with like a 5-man roam on Oregon, and they showed when they're in control of roaming, whether it be on roam or attacking roam, that's where they really shine, when they're actually doing it right, when their teammates are trading each other, when they're ready to cover each other in crossfire. That is their strength. If they can continue to play that off that, this could be a 2-0 for Millenium. But this is not a map where you can roam very well, so this should be very interesting. If FaZe are going to play a roam game on Clubhouse or not, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Latin America. Will Millenium be ready for it?
Now we'll see what Millenium and FaZe have in store for map number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Clubhouse, we're going in here. We're going to get ready for really what they have to show us, because Millenium have said, oh, we're ready, we got new strats for this.
Will they play Cash Room? If anyone's going to do it, I could see Millenium pulling off Cash Room.
We've seen French teams just...
They try.
They play Tower in Border, well, in
Tower and Kitchen,
in Oregon, they played Tower and Kitchen. We saw a ton of bathroom tellers that were played as well on Border. From both French teams. You know what?
It's a French thing to be different.
We also saw, we also saw the Cash Room, as you mentioned. Yeah, definitely possible. But we'll see how things play out. Here is a Lion.
First
going to be picked for Renshiro.
This is something that has been, I mean, we saw earlier, for example, with the match between Orengo and Rogue, they hesitated to pick Lion until they felt like it was necessary. We saw EG, for example, BC's been playing Lion all season, so he continued to do so. And Millenium, I guess, deciding per map how they want to use it. Now this one is going to be making sure that FaZe cannot roam. They're going to say, okay, well, FaZe could be roaming on this map. If anyone's going to do it, it's them. They could even bring a Vigil. We're going to do something to shut that down. But with only 2 charges, it's a little less effective on the roam. But it's not really that effective downstairs once you're actually making the push necessarily, unless you know where they're at and you're just trying to keep them standing still. But they are going to be bringing a glass, which will be interesting to see how that's played because, for example, the way EG plays it is they'll push Necrox down blue.
Exactly.
And that is a very conventional thing they do almost every time. But that's not necessarily the meta. We'll sometimes see glass push down dirt tunnel, which is a little more odd. Sometimes down the stairwell. In fact, I feel like this is the kind of team that will play him down the main stairwell and push towards...
Wait. Is this the multi-ADS mute hold? Yes, it is!
All right.
Oh, yeah.
This will be fun.
So look at this. Look at how much utility is put. There's 2 mute jammers, 3 ADS.
Why do you need 2 mute jammers?
Why not?
Why not? I guess if you don't have a use for the other one. My goodness. Well, if they wanted to go dirt, they're not now.
You're not getting in there, my friends.
Good luck. No Thatcher as well, so that is a no-go from the start. They only have grenades as well on Rise as well, so they would have to burn a lot of ADS. They'd have to throw 6 devices in there just to be able to grenade, and then they'd have to use Hibana to even open the wall and not be able to open 2 hatches. So
yeah,
not going to happen. Dirt Tunnel is definitely denied. But now that frees them up to be able to play one guy in Dirt Tunnel to be able to help hold the bomb site and watch an angle without being contested from above. So that was a very smart play. I just hope they don't need grenade protection from above because once Rise starts chucking them down here into the bomb site, that's going to be very effective. Now, no one to really detect down there, no pulse, no vigil, so Rise is not going to find any people. But gadgets are going to go bye-bye here.
Oh, Legion Mines, they're going to go down. This is why you bring the IQ.
Jackal does have 1 tracked as well, so they do have the ability to get some angles from above.
Oh, now he'll track the smoke. All right. So that's the 2 charges. They spot the 2 anchors, which, you know, is not really a big help, but it's still something.
Well, again, they want to make sure that there's not going to be roamers or late roamers, and they accomplish that. Lion's going to make sure of that as well. Now they're frozen in position along with that Jackal. But the push has not come yet. They have not even gone downstairs.
That is not a fully reinforced church wall, which is not something we've been seeing too much of.
Keeping it soft.
Yeah, sometimes you'll play the soft wall in the middle, sometimes you'll have it on the left, pretty much never on the right.
Now what's interesting is they did not open stock hatch yet, which usually means that they're going to use 1 to try and deal with the mirror window on this angle, because otherwise opening stock hatch is pretty much a given. There's a battery going down on that mirror window facing into blue. They could use it there as well to be able to contest that. They do have at least the bar hatch open, as well as the kitchen hatch, which of course this is the most important one here. But Memorial is also proven to be important. This is where glass is going to be used. Try and guard this dirt tunnel, but there's an ADS replaced. He went and picked up his ADSs from the other side. That's a smart play, take advantage of the dirt tunnel. But Astro takes down the glass. Unfortunate for that hold from Kitchen.
Very close angle, but still able to win the 1v1 fight. Astro taking down the drone as he's set up in the back here of the Arsenal. The west side, Moringa with 1 more on Live, and here they all drop. Astro gets the kill on Rise. Now 2 alive, it's Hicks and Renshiro. We'll see how loud Renshiro can roar. This is the last one, basically, that is close up. Hicks will have to jump through. 2 kills will go the way of Millenium. Mav will get 1, now turns it into a 2v1, and there is not enough time. Millenium taking so long to get down on the site. They're just not able to plan.
They brought all this anti-roam, and they didn't take control of the map fast enough. They didn't get downstairs fast enough, and that absolutely bit them. But some great plays. You saw the Legion get a kill up through the hatch on the Glaz. I feel like this is the one map and bomb site where you see Legion killing Glaz more than any other.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those two, but it's this magnetic attraction.
And Consulate is the map where Miro will one-tap the Glaz as well.
It's just one of those things. But Blitz coming out here from Maz. The party has just begun on FaZe's map. This is something we've seen a lot of from Mav this season. He is dominated. He put Julio to shame on Blitz. So there's some great play from Astro on that. Legion just fantastically working that hatch. Now, that's something we saw, for example, in NA from SMG is putting too much effort into that kitchen hatch really costs you. I prefer EG's take where they focus on dropping down into Memorial. Tends to work a little bit better, but that was just the first attempt here. So we are going to see another mute this time and another Legion. So fairly similar setup from defense, but attack is where it's going to be different. Now, they don't have the resources necessarily because they don't have the Jaeger to dedicating to blocking dirt. You know what that means? Mav's going to come down dirt because they have a Thermite, they have the ability to open it. They need to contest it. Yogurts needs to put at least 2 Legion Mines in dirt to slow him down. Otherwise, once he comes stomping down, if the smoke cannot hold him off, if Hicks can't do his job, Mav's going to walk right in and they're going to get that plant down into Arsenal.
We'll see what Yogurt sets up his goo mines as well, because if there's any push from Blue, having Legion Mines over there will very much...
Well, you need to stop that cross, right? If they're pushing dirt, they're also potentially going to push Blue if they're smart about it. And there is barbed wire, at least to slow them down. But as we know, barbed wire is more of a tickle to your feet at this point than a big speed bump. But there is at least a mute jammer to try and slow down the push into the dirt tunnel.
And this is what we're looking for. Mav, one of the best blitzes in the world here. Just going to show us possibly how to play him, because we've seen him. Yeah, we've seen him on pretty much every single map tearing things up, either Clubhouse or if they're playing on Oregon, which is a signature as well in general for Blitz, but especially for a player like him or Julio, where they can pretty much just waltz on in and clean up the entirety of the other team. The thing is here, Millenium bringing in the Legion for Yogurts means that they are prepared. They've definitely gotten the information that, you know what, this guy loves playing Blitz, so we'll get the one operator that helps us a ton fight against them, and that is, of course, the Legion.
Now, of course, when you bring the Thermite, the nice thing is you only need one for the dirt tunnel outside. You get the one to do the bar hatch, because that's a safer hatch to do. And that leaves you with the ability to use that spare X Kairos on any wall you might need it. Also, if you, for whatever reason, Habana dies early, you're not left with a situation where you're too hosed. So I think that's a great choice. They're playing it very smart, but they're also playing it slow. It's a minute 30 left. And they have not gotten too far into the site yet, really focused on, looks like maybe Mav might actually drop Memorial instead of even bothering with Dirt Tunnel.
No, Mav is still looking in. He might drop into Memorial. He's got help from above, and there you go. They're going to spot the Legion trap, the goo mine that was set up right below, just to make it a bit easier for them to come in. Hicks with a bit of a cheeky felt camera, actually. It's not really a spot you look for more often than not.
I thought it was interesting, too, they had 2 drones set up on the stairs earlier as well to watch for any kind of flanks, because they are concerned about roamers, but now that they've cleared everything and secured it, not so much concerned. However, it looks like they're actually taking their time to discuss how they want to approach this. With a minute left, it's a little bit late to be doing that, but Astra, in the meantime, at least going to be opening up some angles for them.
It's still quite a bit of time to play around with. I mean, usually here, you go for a quick plant. They still have smokes to play with Mav, so they can put that to clean things up, but Gohan will move in from the back.
This is the important flank, and it starts with a kill on Rise.
Renshiro will move around, and Gohan somehow remaining alive with the shots being thrown in from Hicks. Smoke's going to be used on him here to just keep him in the back as he takes more damage. C4 thrown in right onto Mav as he's somehow still alive. He'll get dropped by the Mira. The Mira is still on the site. Livin will trade up, taking down Astro even with the Deagle, as he has to set up in his position. The C4 has already been used, and we are in a 4v3. They'll pick up Mav again as he instantly gets a bit more damage done to him. No flash to use, and Mav will win the 1v1 with the knife. Moringa with one more in Yogurts, with the last being Hicks alive. He's got no smokes to play with, and Gohan will come in and clean him up. FaZe up 2-0.
I want to credit a lot of that to Gohan's push onto Blue. That is like a key play. When you're in a situation and you've got a position and attack play lined up, when you have an Ash go for the flank, for example, like you see on the basement of Oregon, for example. If you're pushing those stairs and you're getting ready for the plant and everything's going your way, and then an Ash comes from the other side of that 3-speed killing machine, that's exactly what happens right there. He came around from the flank where they were entirely focused on Mav and on Memorial, and that's what the flank you need onto Church. That's why we usually see, for example, Necrox pushing down Blue with Glass. For that same reason, that flank matters so much. Yeah, he didn't get every kill, but he set up the position. Yeah, they lost the diffuser in there, but picking Mav back up, the fact that he didn't die, got that melee kill right there, set it up so Gohan, with like, what was it, 3 HP left, still getting that last kill.
How did he survive 3 gunfights?
Just the quick flicks and the skill, the speed, and then also using the positioning in there. I mean, technically, he should be in a hugely disadvantaged position because he can only come from one direction in one spot. But just the speed works in his advantage. And you see a lot of good plays there from most of the players. And now we are going to go on our first bar defense, as FaZe did when they're downstairs. So now they've got to play it a little bit differently. Astro actually going to be on the vigil for that potential hiding play upstairs, because upstairs is an important part of this. But then you've got Gohan on the Echo, but interestingly, no smoke. So they're going to depend entirely on C4s and the Yokai.
And obviously the double ACOGs, that's going to be definitely a way to do it. You've got to contest, and you know what? It's worked in the past, and, well, 3 cogs in this case, because of course they have the Echo. They can contest pretty much in any position that they'd like to, but this is a great one if you're trying to play against a Blackbeard or a Glass coming in. It's not perfect against the Blackbeard because you still have to go through his shield, and at range, as you said many times before, an MP5 or an MP7 are pea shooters.
Yeah, you absolutely need to hit the head with those. So they're not going to be doing a lot of damage in terms of body shots. But you know, you definitely have to be concerned about that with Renshiro.
I think it's like a minimum of like 14 damage at that range. It's not really much.
It's pretty much just blowing kisses at that point. But they're at least
club not war.
Now they've got to decide where to push from. Definitely looks like a stock push, not just based off the spawn, but also based off the droning. So Cameraman's actually going to rotate around. They reinforced that barricaded that, got ready for it, but then decided to go a different approach. Typical strategy here for a stock push where you're going to open up the garage wall and get ready for the push from the other side. A lot of times it's a Thermite doing that. Renshiro's just going to announce his presence with any pre-fires he can. But Cameraman could be a real sticky problem here. He is going to give away that he's there, though. Renshiro's going to see those gunshots. That might have been a bit of a mistake, giving that away. Does sneak into the room, though, completely unspotted.
Renshiro, the mountain.
They're ready for a push into cash that's just not happening. And the line coming out here means now they can't move. Could signal a push, but they aren't doing it just yet.
Ogon spotted behind the stage here, and of course he's set up on the Echo. He moves around for just a bit, and Yogurts will get the first kill here on Astro. They'll down the second one as well, and that's now Moringa down on the floor, but Cameraman will try to capitalize in the meantime on the chaos. Mav will go down as well on the outside, but he will revive himself to rise, spraying bullets right into him. Cameraman is now barely alive as the Echo. Gohan will go down. Barely any health left for Cameraman as he's trying to squirm his way back into it. Playing behind the concrete. And he'll get taken down. Rise, there we go. Quick finisher. Rise just running around, mopping up the kills. You see the Habana had already pre-opened the wall, looking in here. Opening up the garage.
Their attempts at flexible play just did not work out because they gave away too much every time they were trying to reposition and rotate, and they didn't really catch many off guard other than Renshiro outside, who was not ready for that push. But it did look like that could have gone in FaZe's favor at the beginning, but then they just started losing way too many fights, and trades turned into double kills. Fell apart pretty quick, but that's bar defense. That's pretty typical. Mav going to be trying that blitz play again here on Church. It worked last time, so might as well give it another shot, as Millenium is going to give another shot to the downstairs now. It is a difficult one to win against that blitz, as we saw last time, but they did do a good job downing him. So Mav's going to have to be a little more careful because he did get lucky in getting to get picked back up last time and getting that 50 HP extra because they were ready to do a lot against him. Surprisingly, they didn't push down Dirt Tunnel, which is weird, but now they've got a ban instead of a mute. So maybe they will go for the dirt.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Well, FaZe what they've got, they can definitely go through there, but will the Bandit even reinforce?
So it depends. Like, Bandit could use multiple batteries in terms of the church wall. They are reinforcing all 3 sides of it, so that could mean he needs to use 3 batteries for it, which does not leave you 2 batteries for the dirt tunnel, which means it's a pretty easy open for Moringa if he wants to blow that wall, which at least give Mav the option, right?
And this is why if you're preparing for someone like this, you would probably bring a mute, because it just makes it
That's what they did last time. It worked out. Yeah, because you get the extra ability. You get 4 mute jammers, just like 4 batteries, but you can cover 2 walls with each mute.
You can't, you can't, it's a bit of a trade-off. You cannot mute trick, basically, but it definitely...
But if they don't bring a Thatcher, you don't necessarily need to, so... Now, Rise is going to get spotted late reinforcing this. If they capitalize on that right now, they could get him, but unfortunately, they are not ready to push that just yet, and not going to turn into anything. Gohan does relay that information, and they have the ping. They are going to open that up and try and contest the dirt tunnel. Maybe later, maybe not right now. One of the things to do is open that up.
Oh, no, they'll open it up right now. There you go.
Yeah, but they don't have to push it just yet. That's the important thing. You open that up now, you let them go open the bar hatch as well, do some droning down it, really make them think you want to push it. That'll put their attention elsewhere while the rest of your team gets in position into bar.
And this is what you're looking to do if you're on the attack. Just force the smoke to stick in the tunnel, but never be safe. Because even if you try to push from the kitchen hatch, well, he's not going to be around to help the defense because he's still worried about a potential blitz running up right up behind him and taking him out.
Not to mention you can bait out some of those smokes, which then there's less of them to defend the actual plant attempt. Especially if you decide to drop kitchen hatch later, you definitely don't want that smoke to be able to deny that drop. So they are going to set up to at least open that kitchen hatch here soon. Astro, they're being a little cautious about it, making sure no one's going to push up against him. And no one is going to, so he's going to be able to contest that pretty easily. There we go.
easy opening as well from Astro. She's gonna climb on up, go for a bit of an easier way. And there we go. Mav is gonna go in to the top. He can just basically keep Hicks in here for the entirety of the round because peek in every now and then just run all the way back. He's pretty fast as a blitz, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. At this current speed of blitz, yeah, definitely. Although it looks like he's going to rotate around and actually not use it, but that's, as you said, going to keep Hicks busy in dirt tunnel the whole time. C4, not only do you hear one rip, but you hear one already beeping, so they're definitely trying to stop Mav, and he baits out one. That might even hit the other one as you don't hear the beep anymore. That's not a great position to be in if they just lost 2 C4s.
I think that was the only one, just the other one was just ripped and then stopped.
Yeah.
Now there we go. They still have the second one that's in the hands of their Valkyrie. Of course, the Bandit might as well as brought one, but Astro will get 1 kill on Renshiro. It's proving very difficult for Millenium to set up for the defense down here in Church as Mav will go in. The first smoke is thrown into blue, and the second one to cover rotations. They're definitely going for a plant here in A. The Rise will land the kill on Gohan. Moringa will refrag. Livin playing with the M870. What is this? Oh my god, Mav will get the kill as Hicks will take him down on the floor. Still 1v3. Hicks alive. Yet again, how can he do this here? A lot of damage done to Moringa, especially on FaZe, and he gets insta-tapped by Hicks, but now they know exactly where he's at. Astro playing on the site, and the second player is upstairs. That is the Lion. That'll be helping him from Memorial. Has to come in for the diffuser. Can he long arm it? Yes, he can. Oh, they hear it. They can spray in. He's going to go for a contestation, and no, Astro is ready for him. And he'll get the kill on Hicks to clean him up. I don't know what happened there at the end.
Now, I mean, I like that Mav went and rotated and did the Memorial drop instead. It was a little more effective than pushing from the stairs and trying to contest the church wall. They absolutely played that well, but Gohak tried to go for that blue push again and got C4'd instead. So they were a little more prepared for it this time. So that same push didn't work out as well as they would have liked, I imagine. But once they got the plant down and it was all left on that smoke, unfortunate. This nice play here from Astro, just dropping down right into that. You saw the attempted peek there from Manchiro was a nice attempt. And there is the kill onto Gohan. They were so much more prepared for him playing that behind that pipe this time. And another kill there from Astro. Just holding that Memorial. Memorial, again, like I said, when EG plays it, it's much more effective. And this is proving absolutely to be FaZe's map pick for a good reason. As I said, they play it very well in Latin America, and they're showing why. But can Millenium bring it back? Now, they have brought it back on bar. FaZe are going to have to play bar again sometime soon the way things are going, and maybe that'll be Millenium's point again. But they need to win an attack down here, or they're just going to be shut out very quickly. Look at Astro with 5. Nicely done. And then, fortunately for Liven, he is not liven it up at this point. Just 1 kill. Not a great position to be in, down 2 points. They're setting up some rotate holes with these shotguns as well. They do have Astro on that Legion as well. Again, that was pretty effective before. Interestingly, Rai's going to bring Ying, though, and that usually spells a hatch drop from Kitchen, which is, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of, as we see that fail time and time again if you don't perfectly execute, or at least kill quite a few of the defenders first and clear out Arsenal as best as you can. So this might be a troublesome plant attempt.
Rise on the Ying. We haven't seen a ton of Ying here, very much so because we don't. She does not have smokes to use like she used to before.
You got to count on Yogurts and Liven to both bring smokes for that. Yep. So they do have plenty of smokes to use, but that depends on those operators living long enough to go to attempt that plant.
Well, no Capitao in this round. It's been played quite a few times so far.
He did get a buff to his LMG, but was certainly not seeing that.
Oh, no. Oh, no, we're not. That is true. FaZe, of course, bringing Astro yet again on the Legion. Legion has been so strong to deny quick, fast pushes from the attackers downstairs. And well, so far, it's pretty darn standard. This Yogurts has even put up very closely in the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, the cameras that have been thrown today between FaZe and Norengu have been very, very impressive.
Yeah, definitely well practiced, well placed in terms of preparing for a lot of different angles. You got to have a lot of those pocket strats for your cameras to make sure that the common spots don't continue to get picked. They're trying to work a lot of angles here. They do see a little bit of yellow, but Yogurts can't hit the shot in time. I like the way he's playing on top of that counter. Unfortunately, can't find anyone. Now that they saw him as well, they're not going to give it the position anymore.
He'll get the damage done on Astro, that's for sure. So he drops him to 25 health. I won't go for the reset. It's a bit of a risky one to go through. Here's Hicks, of course. This is the safest position to open up. Yeah, that's pretty much the safest position because it is so difficult to assault the Habana that's going through there. And of course, you see Hicks coming in, taking down all the hatches, all the 3 that you need. We'll only have 1 Heart Destructor. Sometimes you'll see both even being played with a Thermite as well as the Habana. But focusing on 1, they need the extra smokes. So again,
we'll still take advantage of the Claymore being put on Rise there. He's going to take up that job since Hicks can't do it now.
Yeah, and of course, that's another thing as well. Habana does not have a Claymore anymore. So that is an array.
Double Claymore.
That is an array. You're not going through there.
I mean, you don't need a lot of other Claymore positions, so I guess if you got them, use them. But that is, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to bother with that ladder anyways.
No. It used to happen, but that was over a year ago. Nobody's ever done that since then.
Well, not going to happen this round either way. You'd have to hit a good C4 or Impact Gauge to somehow get both of those. Candelas are going to start coming out. We hear ADS is going off as well. Plant attempt going to happen. There's 26 seconds left.
Yeah, no 612 in hand. They're going to try to play it with a T95. You cannot plant, of course, when you have a goo mine in your foot. Now, Rise going in for the plant. FaZe still have all 5 players up. Same for Millenium. As I say that, though, Hicks will go down. Richard will refrag. Cameraman takes down Livin, but that's not the one they needed to go for. So, open Rise. Gets 1 kill. Yogurts for the second one. 2v2 now. It's Yogurts with 1 more on the board, leaving all up to Moringa, who's set up in the tunnel. Do they have info on him? I don't believe so here. They were not able to drone him out. But if you want to contest Yogurts upstairs, good luck. And he'll go down there at the end. Guess that was a disconnect. Not too sure what happened.
Must have been why he was just holding that angle. Unfortunate as that was very late into the round, so I imagine that's probably just going to go over to them.
Yeah, it's basically if the problem does not happen within the first minute, then you cannot rehost. So we just continue with this. Now we wait until the last player comes back in, and then we can go for round number 6. 3-2 right now in the advantage of FaZe.
Unfortunate for FaZe is I felt like they might have been able to pull off that round. The delayed plant, thanks to the Legion mine downstairs, kind of helped a little bit in terms of making sure that the plant itself couldn't go down as fast as they would have liked, but they did live a lot longer than they probably should have. That Ying somehow sticking it behind those shelves way longer than probably should have, but thanks to the cover of Yogurts, I think made a big difference there. You saw his plays from above, made it so hard for them to push against the bookshelves, or I mean the stock shelves there where he was playing behind. So good coordination between those two. Probably shouldn't have won that round, but they did make it happen. So now they just got to wait for Moringa to get back in so they could try and finish this, as it is finally 2-3. So Millenium trying to come back. I still feel like this is a map that's going to go over to FaZe, and we are going to see map 3 at this rate. But again, that is a very good decider map between these two.
Is that an Ezio tattoo? It is.
Wow.
It is. No, actually, no. It's a Connor from Black Flag.
Wow.
I play too much.
Showing us Ubi support.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Nicely done. Well, now some time to think for these guys, though, especially for Millenium to figure out, okay, we won that round, but it was close. What can we do to lock this out? Because we have been a little bit ineffective. What can we do, for example, against Mav on that blitz, something that they're going to have to contest with multiple times. Even if it's not every single attack round, it's going to be quite a few of them. Even if they can win this defense, they know they're going to have to deal with Bar. So that's the big problem here for Millenium, is they are going to get punished by winning, because you saw what happened when FaZe had to play Bar. They got shut down pretty effectively. It's just such a hard bomb site to play. But they also didn't have a smoke, and maybe that's, worked against them a little bit.
Well, so. At least for now, FaZe is still up, so we can still say, FaZe up. But
FaZe up.
They still have to grind through this. Remember, Millenium are up in total maps. They won map number 1, and that was very, very convincing. They played on Coastline. They still
very much FaZe's map.
Yeah, it definitely shows a few of the mistakes, and of course, being able to Yogurts has been just doing so well for Millenium, that's for sure. And without him, it would have been a bit more difficult. Rise, even rising to the occasion, map 1, or in the second one as well. So I wonder where the rest is to continue on and take this map for a potential 2-0 for Millenium. If not, then FaZe will definitely have the advantage moving on to our final map later on. If need be, of course, that will be Consulate map that both teams are very proficient on.
I think it's the perfect way to end it. I imagine we will go there, because while Millenium have managed to get 2 rounds, they've been very difficult rounds for them to get, and it's been the maps that, or the rounds that FaZe have been winning have been very convincing for the most part. They just show the experience on this map that they've played. If you go back and look through the season, it's pretty obvious why they're playing so well in here. This is something that Latin America has just been loving, as opposed to Coastline, which has absolutely been an EU map. But Consulate is the real split, and that's going to be the real contest here. However, at least we've finally gotten back in thanks to Moringa reconnecting. So Mav, again, going to be on that blitz, and this is something they should be prepared for a third time around. They did play it a little bit differently. First time they pushed down the stairs, went for church wall. Second time they played for the drop into the memorial. The bandit going to be coming out again, no mute. Yep. So they haven't really pushed much in Dirt Tunnel. They pushed a little bit last time to tease it, but then went around and dropped Hatch instead. They could go for a full commit into Dirt Tunnel this time if they feel like it, but Yogurts is still going to be on that Legion, and that is the big problem, is you end up in a situation where sometimes you have to backpedal and have someone cover you while you pull it out of your foot, or smoke can push you and shotgun as you pull it out.
Well, Hicks setting up, of course, remodeling the map to his advantage, using those soft walls in blue. Of course, with Mira being Ranchero, which is a trademark operator, really.
Yeah.
He'll try to set things up. We'll see very standard setup being played for Millenium. Nothing out of the ordinary. FaZe, of course, as mentioned, bringing Mav yet again on the blitz.
And with the way Gohan's been pushing blue every time, you've got to imagine Yogurt's going to be thinking about those Legion Mines in there to slow down those sprints, because you cannot sprint when you have a Legion Mine in your field. And they were able to stop Gohan last time, but it is a big problem trying to fight him there, because he does win some of those fights he probably shouldn't be winning. And last time it came down to a C4 just being barely in range.
Well, drone's going to be set up here as Hicks. Yet again, you'll see him in the tunnel. The Claymore is going to get set up in the back.
Probably just one this time.
Yeah, a bit of an overcommittal last time, that's for sure. But as you mentioned, you know, what are you going to do? Might as well just have complete webbing all over the
Why not?
garage.
Well, they are going to be doing a lot of droning this time. They want to get an idea how to attack this, because they know Millennium could be adapting to what they've done previously. So the smart thing to do is over-drone it and make sure if there's any adaptations that counter what you were doing previously, that you're ready to do something about it. While it's still early enough in the round to call for those changes, Gohan actually going to be going all the way up to the top floor instead of trying to fight blue, just to make sure that no one's going to be playing from up there. Probably a smart idea. He has 3-speed enough to get around to wherever he needs to later in the round, but they're still possibly committing to this Dirt Tunnel push if they can get an idea on how Smoke's playing it first. Barbed wire, typical corner positions. See Smoke there ready with a shotgun. They're going to push him.
Well, engineering-wise, it might be an oddity to have the tunnel built this way into the clubhouse. It still very much does work.
Hand-dug escape tunnel.
Hand-dug escape tunnel. Yeah, that's for sure. That's what bikers do in their time off, or so I've heard.
Well, he might have actually just got that smoke canister as you heard the shots go off, and then nothing when he triggered it. So this is working out nice. I think that's 2 smoke canisters. Yep, the last one ready to throw. And the Lion's actually going to stop him and give him an opportunity to push with that drone. This is good coordination. Detected, and they know he pushed out now. Full control Dirt Tunnel. We might finally see this Mav push from Dirt Tunnel, and here he is at the door.
Oh yeah, there we go. This is the perfect spot to throw in your last gas canister, but it's still a bit too early to do so. Rise will try to set himself up here for the kill. Getting a bit of damage done. Back onto Mav. Now the push from blue. That's what they're trying to go for here. Pinching out the 2 defenders that are set in the back of the armory. The last canister is going to get thrown out. The flash is going to get thrown in as well. He'll flash himself here on the thermite. But Rensher with a team kill on Hicks, but he'll get the second one on Gohan. At least the smoke didn't have really much to do there at the end. Rise with 1. Astro taking down Livin. But now it's cameraman to try and push him, but no, Yogurt takes him out. Astro spraying in with a Habana, takes it. There you go. Oh, there we go. Finally able to get the kill on the Legion, but there's so little time remaining. They'll get the kill on Mav. The C4 will not hit. Astro needs to go for it. He has 0 seconds on the clock, and they can rush in, get the last shot. Millenium successfully defended in the armory.
That was absolute chaos. I think the little break there definitely helped them, but I mean, Mav not only pushed in from the Dirt Tunnel, he was one of the last people left alive on that push, but just the coordination wasn't there to actually get the plant down. He needed to be supporting his teammate to getting that plant down with 0 seconds left like that, because obviously what else are you going to do? But him pushing aggressively towards Church wasn't the worst idea. He just couldn't land the shots against 2 of them who were ready to fire at his face. And I think we saw some of the help, for example, from the Legion Mines, as I was talking about in blue, when they went to go for that push. Yeah. You heard it trigger. Gohan was put in a tough spot, because he was trying to put pressure on that side still, just a little bit later than he had in previous rounds. So those changes didn't work as well as they thought, but I still feel like that was very close for Millenium. However, that means Millenium now has to go up to bar on their next defense if they have, well, I guess they are going to have a next defense, because it can't go to overtime just yet.
Alex again from Rise. Saw their Astro missing a bit, taking the second tick of damage on the Legion mine because of that miss first shot. Of course, wouldn't really have mattered there at the end as he was solo against the 2, and he had half a second left on the clock. Needed to go for the diffuser plant anyways, and you know what? You die. It's fine. You reset, and you try to go for it again. Ladies and gentlemen, round 7, 3-3. Millenium to FaZe. As now FaZe are on the defense, and they're going to be playing back in church. A reminder that Millenium finally won that defense. They're going to have to play upstairs later on, but for now, we'll be on the attack.
This is not a terrible position for FaZe to be in, because let's say they win this round, they don't have to play bar if they can win the next round after. If it doesn't, even if it goes to overtime, they don't necessarily have to play bar depending on who gets first defense. So they're actually set up in a good position, provided they can continue to defend this downstairs as well as they have been for the most part and shut down Millenium. FaZe could actually lock this out and bring it to map 3, but Millenium have been showing the slow adaptations that they've been needing to actually win these. However, it's still the same lineup they've been using, and last time I feel like that was not necessarily the best attack. It really came down to Yogurts holding that hatch really well. If they can counter Yogurts well, that puts Rise in a tough spot trying to get that plant down. And as we see, pretty much when you go for a Ying drop through the kitchen hatch, you're almost always guaranteed to sacrifice at least one of your attackers on that push, because someone has to die on the way down. And if it's the man with the diffuser, that slows things down. Yogurts is going to be prepared, I mean, Astro's going to be prepared for that with at least one Legion mine down there, so you know that's going to get delayed. It's, I don't know, it's a tough spot if they go for it again, and you rarely see Ying used for anything else but that drop.
You know, unfortunately, Hungry from 1UP, well, no longer 1UP actually, is not here to show us the plays with the 6-12.
Millenium made sure of that.
Millenium very much didn't make sure, made sure of that. So we'll see which team, if any, really will play it out just as a tribute. You know, may not be the best thing in the world, but it's just a tribute. Here, just a tribute. Now let's see the opening up in the main bar. Hicks going around, taking down the hatches. Very standard so far. The Habana, this is your checklist as a Habana player, basically. Just like on any map, go take down the hatches.
Now they are getting some pings here. They've already got one who's going to go for some more footprints. And then lock those down with Lion's help from Renshiro to make sure they can get the angles they need. But the impact nade catches him off guard, and Liven though punishes Astro for it, and that is Legion Mines off the board. That will make the plant a bit easier as well as any potential flanks.
I wonder where they're going to find the last footprints, as there is still one charge left on Liven's Jackal.
Things definitely slowing down now, though. This is where the drones go. Okay, now we've got what we need open. We've got one initial kill onto Legion. Now we need to set up, but Yogurt's lost a bit of health in the process, and he needs to play smart.
Interestingly enough, we have not seen a Buck playing here on Clubhouse.
Nope, they don't.
Both teams have not really...
You have the shotgun from Liven as well,
there
though.
You go.
You can take advantage of that, absolutely, as well as a really nice gun on the C7E. So
basically no recoil. Sure, you'll lose out on the grenades, but there's 2 smokes. When you combo with a Ying, it's definitely an advantage.
And Glass as well.
Yeah.
A lot of blinding coming out here, though, unfortunately.
Now Liven just setting up. Might just be the one to chuck in the smoke grenades, and that is indeed what will be going on here. Oh no, the ADS will catch up one of them.
Just one, though. That leaves an opportunity here for Glass to get the other one.
Won't be throwing it in just yet. Yogurt's trying to look on in. The Candela will be timed for the 3-second mark as Rise will go in. The 2 on the second one. Throw it on in. The last one immediately goes down. You got to time it all, but Moringa's ready. No matter what, Rise will drop to the floor. Liven falling to the back. They're getting the information from the Valcam here, but he comes around. Liven will get the kill. 12 seconds left on the clock. He's got to go for the plant right now, but cameraman makes short work of that. Yogurt's getting the kill. He drops in, almost nailing the second here. And the last 2 alive for Millenium yet again is Hicks and Renshiro. Hicks will get one, but he needs to pick up the diffuser. Go for it right now. He'll try to go for the plant. Mav, last man alive. He needs this round here for the team. They're trying to play, but no! He'll deny it right at the end and get the kill on the Lion. Drops him to the floor, and the plant will not go through. FaZe Clan somehow will clutch it with Mav yet again at the helm.
Now, again, they're in the perfect position. If they can stop Millenium right here, they do not have to play bar, and there's a very good chance, even if they don't have to play bar, which has been pretty much their only weakness so far. So they are in a great position to do something. I thought maybe for once they were going to play Finka just because, well, this is the only team that really does is FaZe. Nope, they decided against it. There's a lot of smoke play on this map, so.
We'll remind you as well that because you can use the tactical pause, everybody will play it with that. Or score a few Let's Go Kickstars in the audience here. Because, of course, who doesn't love Michael? That's for sure. And well, here, there's a lot of talking happening between the Millenium players because it seems like even when they have every single advantage, it gets thrown away for one just odd reason. And it just comes down to chaotic fights, and you cannot really control that.
We've seen definitely situations where Millenium gets so close and can't shut it out, like against Penta, where they were so close to even being able to 2-0 them during the actual Pro League season, just couldn't finish it. And now Millenium, again, not only is FaZe in the best spot, but Millenium's now in the worst. Now Millenium have to defend Bar. Their timing of when they decided, well, not really decided, but when they finally won Arsenal, the worst possible time, because now they really have to play this perfectly against a team that's absolutely ready for it. Mav going to be bringing a blitz on this attack. Now they know this is the bomb site they're going to be attacking, so this should be especially interesting, because how often do you see a blitz push on Bar?
This actually pretty much never.
Yeah, but they have both hard destructors, so they can open up this drip wall into pool as well as the wall from the garage into stockroom, so they can set up for both potential plant attempts here, as well as be able to open up the hatch. They can have, for example, Astro play through the roof, open up the hatch in gym, and be able to play down the angle onto pool as well. So they're a very good setup before that, but it's soft at the moment. They haven't even reinforced it. Thanks, Marcio, for showing that. But they are at least reinforcing the wall for now. They also have the line of Cameraman, which I don't think we've seen Cameraman play yet, so they're definitely setting up for a little bit of a different attack than they have usually.
Rise may be going for a quick spawn peek here.
Might as well at this point. You have the advantage and the ACOG.
While this might not be the perfect Atom spot, it is still you know, somewhere in the realm of it, and they won't be able to find anybody early on. So what, you know, Rise is just going to fall back, hit the lobby, may be able to get a frag out of it. Just still, Mav moving through the strip club.
Now this is a good use of it. Setting up to take the strip club can be hard if they're contesting it, but you have Mav, who's been just pretty much a god at the shield, walk right into the room, says, I don't need a drone really even. I can just walk in, make sure it's clear myself, take a little break and let you guys come on in. All he has to do is hold that door. There's no other way in for the defenders. And not only that, but they've sealed the door to make sure that they couldn't come in. He doesn't have to open the door. He could just hold it. They have really set themselves up in a bad position to defend against a pool push.
Just hold the door. That's just exactly it.
But Mav's still alone in there except for Moringa, who's getting set up to blow it. Now, what are the rest of the team doing in terms of helping this push? Are they going to go to clear the top floor and make sure bedroom's into control?
It's just cash room hold here.
Just
from
droning, I guess.
They're expecting to push on the complete other side of the map. Gohan will drop in. I'm not sure if they have a rotation.
Here we go. Yogurt's going out. Unfortunately, there we go. The timing on Gohan, well played by Yogurts. Also, Renshiro helping with his cameras as well.
He's got the impact net as well to play with, so he wants to impact the side wall of the office and then move through that to rotate onto the other side of the map and play the stairs. Well, he can very much do that, as Astro now will try to contest the gym. He's from the top hatch.
He doesn't actually have to drop down in the gym, though. That is the advantage he has in his favor. So once they start opening this wall, which they're getting set up to do now, you hear Moringa triggering his thermite charge, but he does drop down into the gym. Astro maybe exposing himself a little too much, but they do know that Yogurts is in cash. So it's not unexpected that there could be an impact nade rotate.
Cameraman droning around here, moving up to the name, of course. Astro as well to get some information. I wonder how they're going to push Mav through on this. Of course, losing Gohan when you're not really going to be playing too aggressively in this is fine. You're looking to clear out one or two roamers, but unable to really do much. You lose on the soft destruction. Of course, Cameraman is still alive. He does have one more E1D to use.
Yeah, that will really freeze them in place and stop them from rotating back late, which is exactly what they need to make Yogurts pretty much irrelevant in terms of coming back to the actual site. But they are going for a flank, though, and that's a little bit risky for Cameraman to be doing because he could cost his life before he's able to help with the plant. There is
Rise set up. Oh, do they spot it, though? This is a great spot to play with the Echo Drone.
It's hard, though, because of those pipes, but at least Lion's going to freeze them, but Echo Drone is going to be the most important right now.
Will they have to decide between one or the other here? But no, Astro and Moringa will get a kill each. Renshiro will get one, though, with the MPX. Out of the norm, basically. Astro moving in. He'll get taken down by Livin. And they set up the Echo Drone here. They'll go in and deny it. Livin will get the kill on Mav, unable to save the day, as they successfully defend Bar. Devin, what is this?
It's just completely time management. They lost so many fights, but you know, they just threw bodies at time. They threw bodies, they traded. They threw bodies, they traded, and it worked. They are now in overtime. They have a chance at this. That is not a fight they should have won. Millenium should be on map 3 right now. The fact that they're not means there is a chance we could see them 2-0 this.
Yeah, we'll remind you. Overtime small best of 3. Win 2 rounds in a row or not, you still take the win. And here with Millenium, a French team, being already 1 map up, well, it works perfectly. And you know what? FaZe are starting off on Church Horse.
Disadvantage now. Remember I said if they could stop overtime, they prevent going to the bar at all. But now, if they get to a 6-5 situation, they're going to have to defend bar if they even win this particular bomb spot. So this is not looking great for FaZe, who had the advantage and just did not lock it down. Unfortunately, I think they just got a little too chaotic, a little too uncoordinated in terms of their push last time. And obviously, Gohan dying was not a great start, but I don't think that was really the thing that broke the camel's back. Rai's actually going to be bringing an IQ again this time to make sure that they can have some idea what's going on. Renshiro going to be on the Blackbeard. Should be. This is a very interesting setup for an attack on basement. Well, things. And
I wonder.
They know they're going there.
Wait. Okay. So this is Millenium. This is pretty much remnants of Youngtus. Are we going to see a church wall push?
Yeah, they were very big on church wall pushes back in those days. And I mean, FaZe have tried it and they did okay with it when they had the shield going down there. But yeah, church wall pushes are risky, assuming you can get down there and get it secured well enough and they don't flank you from either the Arsenal wall or from the Memorial itself. You definitely have to have some good map control to pull those off. However, they do at least have some ability to get some intelligence and some frag grenades here from Rise. They're going to get set up. Now, they just need to do smart time management because we've seen Millenium lose just off of time. We even saw FaZe just lose off time last round. So they need to play this as fast as they can in terms of getting control of the rest of the map because no one's really going for roamers on here. They need to just check that quick and then move on. They are at least opening this wall as soon as possible, but they don't have a shield to push down. So is this something they're just going to open up and then just pick it? Oh, I like that.
Shot. All right.
Nice angle there. I'm not sure what he's going to shoot there. No one's going to jump out that. That's pretty rare. We could actually see the Blackbeard go down dirt tunnel with Renshiro. That would be an interesting pinch, especially if they can get someone down blue as well. Maybe Liven push down that. Good crossfire. That could take Arsenal pretty effectively.
I wonder if the Thermits, well, Yogurt's already going to open up. I think he already opened up the second hatch, so he does not have any charges left.
Yep. Here's Moringa, though, coming to try and contest the Blackbeard. I'm not sure if Moringa can pull it off. He's got to hit a lot of body shots, and they know he's there now. But Renshiro is walking into a situation where he's not getting full advantage of his shield.
Oh, I love this kind of push if they actually make it happen because, yeah, sure, a lot of teams would have put a Glass in that position, but when you have a Blackbeard that is as good as Renshiro...
You can still use those angles as well, though, at least through those little cracks. He is going to have to completely capitalize on those to get some kind of Blackbeard advantage. Like you said, Glass is a little more effective because that little peak of yellow is all you need to get a shot.
All right, now it's definitely working out the way of Renshiro. He's using the exact thing you were just describing, Devin, and just peeking around the pillars, very close angle. He's looking for those couple pixels, maybe get a shot through them. Though so far, not really contesting from the Jaeger.
If he can push Jaeger out of that dirt tunnel, he pushes him into a position where they might be able to watch from the kitchen hatch as well, and that's an easy pick onto the Jaeger. So they just need to coordinate the time. He is already pushed out, so they had the opportunity and they missed it, but now they have full control of the dirt tunnel if they can drone to find that out. But Renshiro backs off. Hopefully to drone, no, he's going to back completely out. They just gave up a huge advantage that they had, but Moringa is out of the dirt tunnel now. But that means they just have to fight him on attempting the plant, so they are going to go for a little bit of a church wall attack, as we were talking about earlier. They're at least going to use that to open up the mirror window, get some angles on into church, dropping into Memorial, though.
I'll take down the Legion Mines, and of course taking down that mirror window helps them out quite a bit because this forces the defenders to fall back, and they right into the crosshairs of Renshiro. They'll get the first one. Almost take down the smokes there. We're 20 seconds left on the clock, but Gohan taking down Renshiro, even spraying through a 1v1 against the Blackbeard. Hicks switching to the Bearing 9. They realize, okay, we gotta make this go very, very fast here. Yogurt's with 1, Yogurt's with 2, making it happen on the Thermite. They need to get the third, and that'll be for Rise, but Mav with the double kill as well, staying from behind. Gonna try and get that diffuser down right next to the table. It's a 1v2. Mav rotating around. Hicks the last man alive now. Mav does not have a Nitro Cell to play with, and this round can go really either way as the C4 has already been thrown in. Very cool, calm-headed here from Hicks. Diffuser is planted out in the open. Hicks, the instant he hears anything, he can go for the fight, and Hicks clutches it! Mav will go down, and Millenium will get round number 1 of overtime.
They are learning from FaZe, and they are shutting this down. I mean, Mav put up a heck of an attempt in there. Just
look at Livid. He is so happy right now.
He is livid.
He is livid. Yeah, there you go. One more round. That is all that Millenium need to close it out. And for the first time in a year and a half, almost 2 years, we'll get to see the French teams in
nice
the
plays by Yogurts. He got at least 2K there. Nicely done. Such low health, too. Absolutely the flank they needed. That's usually the flank that the Ash would have been going down. Good timing there. Almost shot Livid in the back, but then they pinched Mav in that corner. He was caged beast, but unfortunately for him, his claws were all out at that point. And nicely played, though. Good timing on that final push. And now they're not going to have to worry about playing Bar at this point.
Yeah, well, despite all his rage, he's still just a Mav in the cage. So
yeah, well,
he's able to be unleashed there at the end. He got the 2 kills that were needed. Unfortunately, could not get the last one on the Havana. Well, Millenium, yet again, still need one more.
Had he had that C4, I think he could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Because he could have got the C4 throw from the window over to the other side of the door and then pushed the other side as he triggered it, and it might have worked out, but...
Hindsight 2020, right?
Especially if you, for some reason, have eyes on the back of your head. But...
Very good point.
Yeah, it's something to think about. So... We are unfortunately, I think, on a pause here while they wait.
Yeah, we have a tactical pause.
Yeah, this is where you figure out, okay, we just have to win one more round, and then we can rest for the rest of the day. This is when you want to do it. As we said earlier, you have your pause. You got to use it. Might as well, especially when you're on the verge like this. You want to prevent going to map 3. We've seen this slip away, for example, when they fought against Penta. As I mentioned earlier, they had a chance to 2-0 them. Barely slipped away. Ironically enough, it was Hicks in that situation that helped be the problem in terms of losing that round. But in this round, he completely recovered it, did a great job. And now they are on the precipice of winning this and moving forward into day 2, into the semifinals. As you said, a little bit of a historic move here for Millenium against Latin America, who are struggling.
Yeah, 2 of the most siege populous regions and countries in the world. Of course, France and Brazil, very much famous for how many people play Siege, but also support the esports scene, have been since very much day 1.
That's why it took us so long to get some NA lands. You guys here got to support even more. Come on.
At least Rogue is still in it, right?
That's right. We still have one North America team in it, but it was a bit of a struggle against Noringa, so I'm a little worried for North America going forward here because Penta just brought it hard, and it's going to be an uphill battle, but they did show a lot, and maybe Rogue could take advantage of it. But either way, one of these teams could also end up against Penta down the line. And if anyone's going to do it, Millenium is, I think, a good candidate just because they've shown they can play against Penta fairly well during the season. So there is a chance this could be the path forward towards maybe a French final here.
Yeah. We'll remind you that our final matchup for the day coming up right after this one, if we go to map 3 or not. That'll be a rematch from 6 Invitational, just like 3 of our 4 matches. Of course, that'll be Team Liquid.
Latin America's second chance.
Yeah, Latin America's second chance playing against Fnatic. Of course, their full Australian team. We'll see if Millenium can actually bring this one back here, because if they're 1 round away and they lose and they have to go into the 6th one, with the fact that FaZe actually lost Church Arsenal Room, they'll go for it again, and we've seen Millenium struggle on that.
Yeah, and it's something that FaZe can definitely win, but they've also had to play Mav on that blitz very different ways each time because it's not always worked the way they want it to, and Millenium have got to be getting used to it. They've got to know that that shield's coming, and then they're going to be prepared to deal with it. And again, that's where Yogurts is very helpful in terms of being able to counter him. Also the smoke as well, so keeping smoke and Lesion alive as long as possible is what's going to help them be able to defend successfully. This pause, however, can work in FaZe's favor as well, because they can be recollecting themselves to make sure that they don't drop out here. As we said earlier, these are both very passionate regions, very emotionally driven regions in terms of being very up and down. And FaZe, with such a strong start, once they lost it, that's got to be a huge momentum killer for them. They've got to be really recollecting themselves now because they were so close at the beginning. And now Millenium somehow in the point advantage.
Well, no matter what, we'll still have a lot of content for a Pro Digest at the end of the tournament. We're still halfway through day 1.
Unfortunately, Pojo not here.
Unfortunate.
Maybe next finals.
Maybe next finals, we'll see. Maybe SK will come in next time. But
absolutely,
for now, still have FaZe on the attack. What they have locked in is Blitz, Lion, Habana, Ash, and
so the Lion again. I mean, the Lion's been somewhat useful. And this is not necessarily a map where you need Lion as much, just because the roam play isn't there. But it is really good for locking down people once you're actually going for a push downstairs, I mean, I wouldn't say it's been pivotal, but it has been helpful in certain situations that they've played it, and we have seen them use it. So I somewhat agree with it, but at the same time, I feel like they could be bringing in another operator that could be contributing a bit more. Like, for example, when we saw Yogurt on the Glass, he was contributing quite a lot to the team, more than if he were to, say, play Lion. So they could also even bring a Buck or a Jackal, something that could do a bit more destruction to the floor would be useful, but I mean, either way, they've been playing it fairly effectively for the most part on these attacks. But that's depending on the Bulldozer Blitz quite a bit. And I feel like if Millenium can shut down Mav early in an attack, that can really fall apart fast, because they seem to use him as the spearhead in terms of pushing down for their attack with you know, the occasional flank by Gohak. So I want to call him Gohan, but he's been Gohak for so long now.
For me, he will always be Gohan.
He's just gonna be Gohak now. I mean, he capitalized the K. So what can you do?
This one, at least nobody. I'm very happy for this. So here's the thing: pro gamers usually are very bad at picking their names, at least in esports in general. However, in here it's not really the case. We don't have anybody with X's at the start and X's at the end, so it's not super lead.
It only took us like 2 years to teach them how to properly put their tags on their name. And I like how Millenium doesn't even spell anything; they just go with M. It's very imposing. We are M. We are here.
It's very stylish, very French.
Yeah, it's very, very French. But either way, it's going to take them a little bit of time here to get ready. And they've got to be thinking about, like, what do we do to make sure we shut down the most important operators of this? Could we see them, for example, decide this is the one round to roam from Millenium? That could be the time.
Would they risk it?
We have one person unpicked. Could be that Vigil player, for example, that goes all the way upstairs.
We still haven't seen a pulse between these two teams on Clubhouse.
Which is, I mean,
we've seen Canadian has
I
very
think
much
it's more of a North American thing. Yeah.
But
I don't know. That's not something you see as much from the Latin American region, and I guess from Millenium as well, who haven't played a whole lot of this map. But Liven has shown up. He has
returned.
He has come, and he has bandit.
He has risen from the depth. Livin has come back to life.
So they should be ready.
Moringa now playing on Millenium, as you can tell. There you go. Thank you very much.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe that is the thing that they need. Moringa is definitely an excellent player. So
absolutely.
He speaks French, I guess. On parle français ici.
Why not? So they've got to be getting set up here just momentarily, because this could be the most important round for the next 6 months that they play.
This could be the most important round of your life. For your life. Our life.
Because as we know, if you lose here, you are executed summarily. It's just what we do.
This is not what they do at Place Bastille anymore. This is not...
Give it a couple years. We can get back to that. If I've seen a lot of future movies, that always is how it ends up. But just...
Been watching too many cyberpunk movies, Devin.
Never too many.
Never too many. That's actually true.
Yeah.
Finally watched Mad Max. It's pretty good.
Hopefully these guys will be Ready Player One in a minute here. In there.
Can we throw in a few more
at the rate we're going, probably.
Oh, yes.
So, looks like
this is what happens when you unleash the beast.
Unleash the beast. They've got to be so close. There we go. The fist bumps are coming out. That's when you know they're ready to do this. That pause working out for them.
They got pro players on their wrists, and let's see if they live up to that name. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into the game. 5-4. Millenium 1 round away. Can they bring it in?
You guys ready?
Get some energy in here, because we might just have a French team in the semifinals, and they are 1 round away from it. FaZe need to bring it back.
Can they do it? The tension mounts.
You can cut the air with a knife. That's very much the case. So Millenium now on the defense downstairs in Church and Armory. Very standard. They have, however, struggled in attacking and defending this site as well. It's not been too easy, but because FaZe have brought Mav on the Blitz, and it's very difficult to deal with a Blitz in general, let alone one of the best blitzes in the world.
Now, last time we saw a little bit of struggle in contesting him in Dirt Tunnel. If they can smartly contest him there, or smartly contest him in wherever he's going to push with that smoke, as well as that Legion, and Mav, he is not waiting at all. He is already ready to get up to the site. It's a little risky droning from right there, but you know, he's going to check under the door first, just to make sure, but he seems a little aggressive, and this could work out against FaZe if they're feeling a little too antsy after such a long pause, because Millenium seem a little collected in terms of what they're doing, and they have the advantage, of course, being on defense I mean, obviously, that has been the biggest weakness of Latin America in general is attacks on Clubhouse.
Well, so far, 3 matches in our Pro League Season 7 finals. 3 of the best matches we've ever seen, really, in Siege, with many surprises.
Checking Adam spot.
That's a good point. Adam has completely ruined everybody's mindset when playing in here. Of course, this is the spot right when you see the boxes. Thank you very much.
We did also see them try and do that once in Latin America, and it got caught, and was an unfortunate end to that.
It'll be forever, at least, Adam's spot.
Yep. Much like K9s or avian spots. That's how you get in the Hall of Fame here. Can't live forever.
Very much the case. Hey, actually, maybe it'll be added into actual Hall of Fame on Coastline, where we have plaques. But I mean, it's happened in other places. Maybe we can have it in here.
We don't really cast games. We're just a focus group.
Just don't listen to a lot of our bouncing notes.
All right. Well, they are getting set up for this here. They are going to open at least as many of the hatches as possible, get set up for the attack, and then where is Mav going to go is the big question. He is doing more droning for his team. They are droning Memorial. He is right by it. Makes me think he's going to want to go for that Memorial push, which was fairly effective previously because he can hang out in that doorway and put a lot of pressure on them to have to rotate. But Yogurt's
Bomb located by attackers.
Waiting for any kind of push to come down. No one doing so just yet. Look like they actually might have been using X-Kairos on just the floor right there.
Yeah.
I'd say that a lot of angles opened up on the walls as well to try and make sure they can test this. I like this droning, though, from Astro. Again, he's good at droning under furniture. It's his specialty.
I mean, when you have double hard destructors, at some point, one of those charges is going to be too much, especially if you're playing against a bandit that already has the mirror window charged. You can't really play against it. You don't have anything to deal with it. So, you know what? Let's just use it to maybe get an angle through the main hallway, at least hold it from the top stairs or from the kitchen. Mav will finally drop into Memorial, and this is the man that they all fear, that they speak so many stories of, and Gohan will get the first one here on Rise. The C4 damaging Mav so badly, as well as Astro, just a bit more to the side, but Gohan runs on, and he's gonna knife it and take him down, the pure BM. But Renshiro with one. Mav just runs in and gets one more, and now he has to face against the bandit as it gets super ugly here. Mav with one more flashing in. Yogurt's last alive with barely any health left, and from the back, cameraman straight with the lion. FaZe Clan are fighting back, and this goes to our final round of overtime. Can FaZe take it to map 3? Can Millenium? Can Millenium take a 2-0?
Not feeling it. Not feeling it after that attack. The sheer aggression from FaZe coming out, the knife, the shield.
What a Millenium play here. What is the special thing that they want to show us? Because they're going to need it
on Clubhouse. That's what it is.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Hibana, I guess. I don't. There's nothing special, really. Capitao. Whoa. Come on.
Is that Vigil going to come out? Oh, I thought we were going to see a roam play from Gohan.
Okay,
that would have been. But we might still from Astro. This is they are really calling audibles here, trying to figure out how to stay in this because this round is.
All right. Very standard then. We're back. We got baited into this.
Close.
You got baited.
But this one was pretending to pick Tachanka.
I blame that on KS. He's done it twice.
Mav and Astro, wow. 9 and 10. And 10 from Yogurts as well. Rise and Yogurts definitely been the MVP for their team as well as Astro on FaZe. So this is a... this could really, really go either way. I don't even know how to call this at this point because FaZe have shown that break really benefit them. Crowd getting hyped and excited as well for what could be the last round for FaZe or the beginning of Consulate.
10 seconds left before insertion.
All right, Astro playing up, even a little aggressive there, getting some Legion Mines set up, potentially setting up on those upper stairs. They are ready for this push. Can they stop Renshiro is the question I have here.
How much energy can these two teams gather? It goes all the way between two of the best regions in Siege, definitely the most represented in general in Siege esports. And now we get to see two of the best teams in those regions square it off. And Clubhouse, a map that we all thought FaZe was going to take handily, especially starting off on it. Well, you know what? Millenium brought it back. Took it into overtime. They start up with the first round. FaZe takes down the second one, though. The attack on Church. Easy peasy game there for FaZe Clan. But now, Millenium on the attack again. And they have to break down the Church walls one more time if they want to just flat out take it here. And this is the concentration now. This is for all the marbles.
Now they are going for Renshiro to push the dirt tunnel again. They've cleared out all the top floor. They're ready to start positioning themselves for the attack. Once they get into that dirt tunnel, Renshiro is going to be in a position, but I hope he doesn't give it up this time. I hope they can actually push through the dirt tunnel and get a nice flank angle. He is a little concerned, but this is where you need a teammate to drone. A lot of times we would see teams have the Thermite do the droning for him, but it doesn't seem to be their style.
The one chink in the armor that I can see from Millenium here is the fact that they have never really contested blue in any meaningful way.
No, it's really worked out for Gohan now.
And that might just be the problem, because yeah, sure, you can push the one player from tunnel, but oh no, Rise will get the kill on Astro. That is a huge kill early on in the round. Not only is it one player down, but it is, of course, also the Legion.
That's the second time he's died pretty early into this defense as well.
And this signals...
Oh, they're not contesting him in dirt tunnel.
Oh, as you say that, though, the Jaeger is still in here. Do they spot him, though? Is there a drone to help him out? It might just be throwing down one from the kitchen hatch here, but that, like, if you actually fight a Blackbeard and win in that sort of angle, you're the best player in the world.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're just keeping him busy. Last time they successfully pushed Jaeger out of dirt tunnel, but then didn't capitalize on it. Renshiro seems a bit more committed this time, holding a nice angle. Rise has been doing a good job from above, getting intel and getting angles, as well as a nice kill onto Astro. That last drone dying means now, you see, looks like it could be Legion also watching for him as well. So he's got a tough position to play, but they are, at least he's giving his teammates time to get into positions themselves.
I bet you Renshiro is playing with toggle ADS, and because the amount of angles that he holds is definitely hurts. But
RSI.
Hicks will take down the mirror window that is set up here in the church wall. The rest of Millenium will drop in as well from Memorial. Grenade will be set up to get thrown in the other side, take down any barbed wire that's set up to slow down the attack. The second one is rolling right in the middle. Gohan, though, will get one kill on Livin. Now the push in. They spot out the shotgun, but they can't get the kill. Moringa will get one. Gohan somehow will get one more. 2v3 now. The advantage definitely in FaZe. 5 seconds left on the clock. FaZe Clan with one more, and Renshiro will get one of his own. There's no time on the clock. He's going to try to go for a kill of FaZe Clan. They'll get map number 2 going all the way to the end. They survive. The energy is still in here, and we still have one more map to go for. What an amazing Pro League final we've had so far, with 2 games, and then the third one that is just like this.
It has been absolutely contest of champions today so far. We still have one more match to go, and we've been going to 3 maps every time. That is exactly how it should be, and like I said, this is the perfect decider map for these two. FaZe, though, I fear for them a little bit in terms of this was clearly their map, and they struggled in the middle there, and it almost went over to Millenium in a 2-0. So it's a situation where Millenium showed dominance in the first map, almost brought it back completely on the second map, but this is Consulate where we've seen 3 wins during the season from FaZe and only 2 from Millenium. But hey, it depends on how many times they played it. But that means they both really shown strong Consulate play.
Yeah.
The question is, who studied the other players' Consulate play better, and are they prepared for it? I mean, are we going to see Mav running around with a shield on Consulate at this point?
I mean, Consulate, if anything, is a great map to play against that blitz play, especially if playing on the top floor. The lobby is a bit more difficult, and Garage is even more difficult than that.
I can almost see a Garage push from Mavic on a blitz.
Yeah, it would kind of work, but when you're playing against the Legion, that's where it makes it a lot more complicated, and this is a map where you can spread things out so much with those goo lines that you can't just catch them out with one Thatcher EMP that's just going to get thrown in. It's not like you're playing on a clubhouse where it's a lot closer and you will most likely get a pick off of it. IQ, though, is going to be super prevalent in here. We've seen it before, and we're going to see it again because of how important it is to take down a lot of the utility, a lot of the electronics that have been set out around the map.
And we saw the adjustments from that earlier where they started putting a lot of the cameras inside the building for the maybe one outside sometimes, but not necessarily as important because jump outs just were not worth the risk, which is, I mean, surprising to say about Rogue, a team that have done a lot of jump outs and is something that works well in the favor of people that get cameras outside on a map like this. This is a spawn peek happy map, but we haven't seen a lot of that so far today. I could possibly see that coming out now between these two teams. I could see them, obviously, remember this Consulate spawn peeker we all remember the most was on this team previously with 6 Quadra, playing it from Rook.
We like contractually have to mention Ciscata every single time. Like, at this point, it might just be the case. And of course, Brazil is definitely well known for that because remember Nesk back in the day. Of course, he doesn't play on this team, but there is a lot of influence that goes through between these teams because a lot of the players have played together in the past. Remember that Brazil and Latin America in general has played competitive Siege before they were ever a part of Pro League or even the show match that we had like 2 years ago in Leicester.
Absolutely. So I mean, they're well prepared for it. They've showed up, but this is a difficult place for Latin America to be in because this is the #1 seed coming from Latin America, and they're struggling to stay in this. And they have struggled time and time again to get to the win, and this is just quarterfinals. They have not gotten to semis yet, so
one thing Latin America has been very on and off about is closing out matches.
Yeah.
They have almost never been able to close out those really important games. They'll make it through, they made it through quarterfinals, they made it through semis. They'll even get the grand final like we saw with ENCE versus Black Dragons at our last Pro League in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. And they just could not take it through, and I fear...
They almost didn't close this one out as well in terms of clubhouse.
That's the thing. I fear for Brazil, for Latin America in this, because they might get into that difficult spot again, and it seems like when you're able to shut down their momentum, you basically shut down everything they have. Yeah. However, got a French team here that is very well known for being very emotional. Both teams being very emotional. The emotions definitely do play a big part in this game in general, especially if you're playing online. If you've never tried it, definitely try it. Yeah. Try it out. But it can affect you, and without having the coach behind you trying to call those tactical timeouts and tell you, all right, calm down, let's reset what the problem is, and relying on your IGL, it gets very complicated.
It helped for FaZe right there, absolutely. This is a map, though, thinking about the way that Millenium have been playing, though, especially the way they play Coastline. This is, I would say, it goes in their favor just because of their roam control and the way that they play more spread out maps. Like Coastline was very effective in terms of that not being a huge contest, whereas Clubhouse, of course, as we said, not roamer friendly. So that is one where they're forced to play a lot of these tight angles and a lot of aggressive play, as you saw, especially from that last round coming out from FaZe. The aggressive play working in their favor, and that doesn't work so well on Consulate unless you get some really good jump outs or some peaks or things like that they're working out, or it's going to depend on them getting some of those late flanks, I think. But there's 3 viable bomb sites on this, which is one that makes it a situation where it depends on the bomb site. But there were also 4 viable bomb sites on Coastline, and that didn't seem to factor into FaZe's benefit. So I'm leaning towards Millenium, especially with how close that was, to potentially take this home here on Consulate. I mean, the first couple of rounds could go either way as teams kind of feel each other's style out, especially being from different regions. But so far, Millenium, if they haven't expended all their energy yet, I think they have it in them to potentially take this in a 2-1 situation.
I definitely agree. Millenium has the experience in this, and historically speaking, Europe has had a ton of playtime on Consulate.
So good for them.
So if there's any team in any region that has figured out Consulate in general, it'll be Millenium in Europe. But we've also seen Rogue playing with multiple roamers that would push together and then fall back on site. It relied a lot on Easily, for example, being able to rotate back very quickly, drop through the hatches, get down on the site if need be, and cut off rotations from the attackers.
EG as well. And so again, that is, if FaZe can pull that off, absolutely. But I feel like Millenium have shown they can shut that down and sometimes just not get killed by some of those flanks. We saw on Coastline, for example, there was some great flank attempts by FaZe. They just couldn't execute on them. Why? Because every one of them got traded, and every time it was one of their top fraggers trying to make that. They would get the 1 kill, but 1 kill for your top fragger isn't enough to make it work. If it's traded and the attackers are close to a bomb plant at that point, a lot of times then all they need is 1 kill advantage. Boom, now they've got it and they don't even have to plant.
Yeah. Consulate's definitely one of the maps. We've even been seeing a lot of teams that just fail on the predicting which site starts initially.
Having to bring thermite when they don't need it.
Or not having a thermite or any hard destructor when they're supposed to push through into garage forces them to go into the back of servers and then push them from there. And more often than not, it's actually the attack that's able to take it, which is a very odd thing to say.
Honestly, though, if Gohan can pull off the kind of flanks he's been pulling off on Blue, for example, and he pulls those off on Cafeteria on a garage attack, I could see a very effective attack similar to the way that they were doing their church attack and working out. And we even saw Gohan get a knife out of it just through the sheer aggression.
Just runs in and knifes the smoke,
He was like, I don't even need to shoot this guy. I mean, by the time he finished his sprint to pull out his ADS, it wouldn't even been worth it. The knife was definitely worth it. But
the coin toss coming up here, I wonder if they're using Polish zlotys or US dollars.
We gotta use like one of the big dollar coins here.
Yeah, there are some actually. Yeah, as a coin collector.
We're not big on coins over here as much as other countries.
It's all about that green, right?
Yeah. But Well, this is important, though, to decide who starts on offense or defense first. That is something that will definitely factor, because you get the early surprise on the defense on this. And in terms of, with 3 viable bomb sites, that means that you can really surprise and, like you were just saying, catch them off guard in terms of the operator picks. That means on the very first attack, they have to be extra careful on who they bring, which gives you a slight advantage early on. But as I said, the first couple rounds, a lot of times for really good teams, doesn't matter. We've seen teams like Penta, teams like Rogues in their earlier days just constantly lose their first couple rounds, feel things out, and then play super strong from there on comebacks. So it's not a huge factor, but it does help.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for possibly, well, very much will be, our last map in this best of 3 series, FaZe Clan v Millenium, as we head into map 3, Consulate. We started off on Coastline, going the way of Millenium. Clubhouse very closely going to the French, but no, it was FaZe Clan, our Brazilian team, that inched it out, and now we go to Consulate. You know, sometimes we've had visa problems, but it won't be the case here. We're going to take them ourselves.
It's their one chance to finally fix their visa issues. We almost saw Montaigne for a second there. Montagna. Mav is going to bring Blitz.
Oh, boy.
That is on Garage. Okay, well, at least that's the one bomb site where I could see it being possible.
There is no hard... oh, boy.
Yeah.
No hard destructor, and you're pushing Garage Cafeteria.
That's got to be a cafeteria push.
It's like we just read their minds.
Yeah, or they don't listen to us. One of the two. But, yeah, I mean, there's a short pause here happening. I don't imagine that's going to give them the opportunity to change ops. There is 3 seconds left on the timer, but... They've got to be doing this carefully. I mean, they do not have the hard destruction. They do have Astra on the Twitch, which is, yeah, that's not a problem to take out the batteries. But they have a Mute and a Bandit to make sure that there's full denial there. And then they've got Vigil from Liven to be able to be on the roam. Could be a very interesting defense. I could definitely see this round going over to Millenium unless they make some big goofs. But,
Mav always seeming happy when he's going for a blitz.
Yeah, it's just this thing, you know, when you found your groove. Yeah. He needs a smile painted on the shield. There is that one skin, the headgear, that's got the big smile on it. I would be surprised to see him rock that.
Honestly, if anybody should be having that smile, it's definitely Blitz, the Joker.
But looks like we got some issues to sort out here real quick, and then we will get cracking. But
Benjamin
again,
helping out Yogurts here, making sure that everything is set up for both of our teams here.
Definitely not a great start to getting into this. This is one of those things where they were ready to go, and now they're like, oh, we got to think about it. They don't know what they're up against just yet, but we do, which is what should be interesting. They've got to be set up to go for the right attack on this bomb. I mean, obviously they're going to do the droning. They're going to find out where it's at, and they'll be ready for it. But they've got to deal with the mute jammers as well, making it a little bit harder for them to drone that. I mean, it's going to give an obvious indicator where the bomb site is, but it'll be a little bit harder to get the positions to get ready for that attack. I mean, we could potentially see a little bit of a rush. They could nade the Visa hatch and run down, but without any kind of normal soft destructors, it's a little bit of a waste. So this does feel like a bit of an advantage to Millenium on this defense for sure.
Especially this, but again, you look at it in the past, when you have to listen to Michael screaming because of a clutch that worked out for the attack when they're attacking in the back because we're in the same position as this. Yeah. There's no hard destructor pushing Garage. Yeah, you know that it can definitely happen many, many times, imprinted in my brain for the end of time.
I mean, honestly, just with the sheer aggression that they have sometimes, I could almost see a cafeteria rush working out here. I mean, even Blitz is fast enough to help make that work now. And then they've got quite a few other attackers that can push in. But they're going to be setting up. And the question I have, too, is whether or not Liven on that Vigil is going to be very important, or he's just going to end up getting killed early on. They do have the ability to track him from Gohan using the Shutterbugs here to catch him off guard.
Now, the thing is, though, I don't think that's going to work out because of the fact that you don't have control of the garage itself, the garage door, and you're forced to play from the backside of the servers, you can't afford to spend so much time clearing up the top floors.
No, you've really got to get yourself in a good position, and hopefully you get some picks on the way.
And this definitely gives the advantage to Liven, who's playing on the Vigil, because he can just play all the way up top, which is not going to be the case here, actually. It's going to be
was that hits on a spawn peak or just shooting a drone is the question. Looks like he's going to back off at the whatever it is, but a smoke playing up here is
there you go. They'll open the hatches. That's what they wanted. So they'll very possibly rotate one player upstairs, and you know what? If the Vigil's here, then definitely can happen.
Well, Astro's going to drone it out, but there's no one there just yet, and a late rotate on that is exactly what they need. Like you're talking about, set up those hatches now, use them if you need them, because they're not going to be playing that top floor, especially not with a blitz, unless they're just going to use them to clear, but they are actually going to, never mind, they're going to push admin straight away here. Yeah. Might as well, if you know it's clear, take advantage of any control they're giving away to you. And of course, this is a much better attack.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only way that you can come in, and knowing that you don't have any hard destruction, you just come in immediately to the top side, clear out, and keep going. Because if you don't do that, then 100% you're going to get pushed from the back, and that's definitely not a spot you want to put yourself in if you're forced into an already bad position.
And they do know there's a Vigil now. They did see the indicator along with the mute jamming, so they're going to be on the lookout for Liven, but Liven is also on the lookout for them. He does see the quick peek of the shield onto the doorway, who is quick peeking the camera. Also saw it red, so he knows they know he's there. And the mind games begin with Liven creeping around towards Visa, but Mav is droning it out smartly. And
oh no! Oh no! They spawn a Moringa. Will get the kill. That's the first one in this map. This is definitely now the advantage. You mentioned what will Liven do in this one. Well,
he's not living any longer.
Very much so. That's the guillotine we were talking about before.
So they are at least getting some idea whether or not they have to contest bathroom, which is the smart thing to do, because that is the one area where that has been a problem we saw on the earlier Consulate play, was that how much the bathroom factored into defending the garage. But that's just not Millenium's style. A lot of barbed wire, apparently. But they're looking to see them all in cafeteria, looking towards that door, as well as Renshiro watching the door from spiral stairs. They know the push has to come from there, and so they can dedicate a lot of resources to watching this. But this is where yellow stairs is also going to be a potential flank they can use if Astro can come around that corner, guns blazing, get a kill. He is waiting for the moment where they turn around.
And there you go. Smoke's going to get thrown out. Don't know how many canisters are left here for the smoke. But of course, with one man down, Millenium are in the disadvantage. Damage done to Renshiro here. He's down to 50% health. Hicks will take a bit as well. As Mav rotating around here, they have to clean up that barbed wires. He takes a bit of damage from the Mira, but Yogurt's running right on up. Gohan, though, will refrag. He can't push through because of that smoke, however. As the C4 will not hit the flashbang. Not hitting either as they rush into the Mira. They're trying to do his damage here, and Mav will make it work, though. Hicks will refrag. 2 kills for him. Now a 2v2. Moringa low on health. Millenium setting up for a potential retake as you see Mav spraying in. He'll go down finally. Now they have to go for it, and Rise will clutch the round. The pistol being picked up as Moringa goes in. Goes down. Millenium takes round number 1.
Well played. I mean, that's the unfortunate part about not bringing a hard breacher at all. I mean, does it really hurt to bring him on at that point?
Honestly, this is one of the maps where you can always bring double destructor and be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it helps if you have someone that's a really good thermite fragger in the situation, because it's like, oh, well, you know, if nothing else, he can frag out on that rifle. But we'll see. They're going to be going garage as well for FaZe, and there is only one hard destructor on Millenium. They're just going to be bringing just Habana, no thermite. And there is definitely going to be some roam play, I think, here from FaZe as well. They're not going to be bringing Vigil, but Astro is going to be going a little bit of a different route. Mav actually going to be the one that's going to be on Legion instead of Astro this time. We'll see if he can be as effective on this bomb site. Look at that, 1 kill each for Gohak, Mav, and Moringa. Then all the rest over to Millenium. So they are getting, at least trying to stop any droning if they can get it, because, well, there's a lot of obvious drone entries here. So they're going to smartly keep the rest of the drones outside, setting up some rotations into the small office. They have not opened up any hatches, but they did open some of the floor in piano, and then Gohak opened up the 1 hatch from above. May not even have to play it, but they are going to play 3 people up top for the moment, it looks like, unless Gohan rotates back down. Nope, he is not. So they are definitely trying to keep top floor control here. Could actually go for a peek out, or even just, oh, he sees that drone. They're just going to make sure an admin push is not in the cards for Millenium.
Gohan setting up his first black eye, actually, finally, as the round starts.
A little late, but they don't. Oh, they do have an IQ, though, so they could definitely spot them.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of indoor play with the Valcams. So.
They keep hearing all the windows get opened. That's got to be concerning. He's sitting here waiting for a throw out at this point. Good distractions, though, by Gohan, opening up a ton of windows, so now they're really not sure where things are going to come from.
He's scanning around. He wants to make sure there's no Valcams. Like, where are they? Well, they're not. They're still in the back pocket of Gohan.
Some roaming even happening from Mav on the Legion here. He's going to be trying to push up the spiral stairs a little bit. Renshiro going to be on his typical Blackbeard here, the Beast. Doing the typical thing on that window of the patio. Surprisingly, Smoke, though, not in Projector. He's actually going to be inside the console office. Instead, you saw one hole open onto the garage itself from Habana. Interesting enough, because they don't have a Thermite and a Moringa. The Smoke playing just the oddest positions here, but that is Latin America in a nutshell.
They can definitely delay things here. Millenium are well known for taking a lot of time to get onto the site itself and just get boots on the ground. That's the complicated bit. And fortunately here, when they have to clean the top side, minute 30 left on the clock, they barely just do it, but they still have to face against all 5 FaZe players that are still alive.
And they are doing a decent job of taking map control here. You did see some surprises for them waiting on those stairs, but Astro's been doing a good job droning, and the return from Astro, unfortunately, cost him his life.
Yeah, Livin is ready here, just watches the hatch, and he takes him down the instant he comes in. A great bait here as Astro goes in, as you just mentioned.
No supernova.
Tribute to Nora Arengo, of course, that they played the supernova, and honestly, it was much stronger than we expected because the Bearing 9 was used in a fantastic way there by Waka in our first matchup. But they spotted the one player below. Rise will have to contest that, though, as he does not have the aid of his team. So he'll get into a goo mine that snaps him out of ADS's map. Mav is just trying to delay them as long as possible from, of course, no hard destructors for Millenium as well in this round. Renshiro stepping in yet another mine.
Good job by Mav here, really delaying this push on these stairs, both the spiral as well as the archive stairs.
We'll take down the camera, but they still have to face
15 seconds
Mav
left.
that's in the back, and that's the thing now. There's no time left on the clock, 10 seconds, and they still have to deal with the Legion. He's buying so much time. 4 players still alive from FaZe as they go for the plant. No, they will not. Mav and Cameraman will get a kill each. Diffuser is almost on the floor. No, it is not. And the defenders of FaZe will pick up the round. This is just great time burning. This is playing it till the last second. I think it's cutting in way too close for Millenium.
Absolutely. They pushed so slow. They got so much map control and then just couldn't turn it into an execute because they were too busy worrying about those roamers to push downstairs. And then, of course, the delays from Legion on both those stairs. I mean, it's a small thing, but it absolutely cost them time that they could have been used to get set up for that plant. So well played by FaZe, bringing it to 1-1. And again, we're going to see them bringing out the same lineup they attacked with the first time. But now it's going to be going on to lobby where you don't need the hard destructor. So not as big a deal here now that Millenium won that bomb spot. They know they don't have to fight it. They know they don't have to bring a hard destructor. And this is where FaZe could make it work. They're going to be bringing a Blackbeard as well here. So this should be a very interesting round in terms of how that blitz was meant to be used the first time. I mean, they don't necessarily know if it's the top floor or this floor. We have seen, for example, Shields try and push up yellow stairs, which was always interesting for Montagna. And could see something similar from Mav. They could still go for a push onto admin and use the shield to push in from there once they take control to help clear the top floor.
I'd hope we don't get to a certain point where, like, I think you're forcing the blitz at this point.
10 seconds left.
It almost seems like it, but you know, Mav's track record on this blitz is quite good. So I guess I can't blame him for it.
Well, at least the first round didn't work out for him, but we'll see if he can make it happen.
He almost made it work, though. He got a little desperate on some of those ES shots, but...
Well, Astro coming in here on his combatant. He lost his first drone. Of course, with Millenium not bringing a Mira, it's not, you know, a big deal, but still, you want to have that Twitch as well because of the rate of fire of the F2. Now, they're going to be able to spot out the IQ downstairs, and
yeah, if they can kill IQ, then
Renshiro.
Obviously that makes it easier. Oh, there we
go. Double kill for Yogurts. He'll get the 2, and that's the Fuser on the floor with a quick run out. And you see Mav retreating. You know, you can have your shield, but it's not going to save you with no teammates around you. That is huge pick here on both the IQ and the Blackbeard. Millenium with a huge advantage early on.
They're absolutely using those cameras, 2 outside cameras to their advantage, and now knowing where to spot them. This is they're going to be spending so much time outside at this point, just trying to figure out how to get in safely without getting picked by another run out from Yogurts, who is still just rotating around his pleasure. And then a C4 throw.
Oh, no! Oh, right above him!
Oh.
A bit premature there from Renshiro.
So worth it a try, though. That would have been great. Just kill him while he's on his phone.
Oh, the angles from Yogurts here. They're going to pop the E1D to try and keep him in place, but FaZe Clan, they have not been able to move a single inch here.
This is just, I mean, a minute 30, and they're still outside taking damage, other than Astro, who's the only one brave enough to go inside and kill someone.
X will go down, and that's the smoke. That is a pretty important pick, even still. But now cameraman realizing, all right, you know what? It's open. I'm just going to come in and join my buddy inside. Now we'll try to push in from backside. Now, Astro does not have a Claymore to play with here. Does have a breach charge that will be of no use in this position on the main stairs as he pulls back up. Cameraman watching the backside as there are no opponents that are rearing their heads just yet, but Livin is playing from below. He can either contest them by going up or playing with his heartbeat sensor, throwing out a C4 if need be. And this is the way you can still defend topside from below, but Mav, this is where they might need him here to get the information, but now they have to pinch the pulse, and you know what? It's gonna fall. C4 will not hit as Livin is gonna be dying.
That was a close one. He definitely played it smart, though, in terms of catching him when he was throwing that C4, knowing that that's what he was going to be doing, because that's really, well, the only way you're going to contest splits. And you saw the bouncing up and down since he's nice shooting him in the feet as well.
Our Astro will get one on Yogurts. He finally eliminates him, and cameraman with one more. FaZe Clan are on a roll. Rise of the last man alive.
15 seconds remaining.
And they're going to go for that diffuser plant. The Twitch is set up in the bathroom, and they have the spot as cameraman plays in, taking down Rise. FaZe Clan finally getting the round.
How do you go from 2 men killed outside with a run out to winning the round without losing anyone else at that point? That was fantastic play. A lot of credit to Astro for getting and spearheading the attack on the actual bomb site, getting the initial kill, bringing his buddies on in, and then great play by Mav clearing out that pulse to make sure they could safely plant. I mean, I like that. They knew that there was a retake setup, right? Because everyone had abandoned the bomb site. So they smartly read into it and said, okay, if they're outside the bomb site, there's 2 places they could be. You see cameraman shooting one of those 2 places, which is the hatch to drop, and the other one going to be the basement. Cleared that out, and then all they had to worry about was that lobby push, which they easily countered at that point. Just smart play, taking advantage of what other information they had. And now it is their turn on defense here.
Gohan on the mute.
Yep.
And cameraman even going for the pulse. Now this is very fun. What will Gohan play though? Because they reinforce the bathroom. They're not bringing a Mira, so you won't have anybody watching from the middle. They're expecting a push to come straight up from the admin side.
Yeah,
otherwise you would have seen a Mira.
I'm not sure what you're going to be denying all that much with that mute jammer.
Honestly though,
drone spots.
you're playing against Millenium that'll always be bringing a Blackbeard. They can just go for a very standard play and just set up on the western window.
Yeah.
And from there, just control, because there's only one reinforcement, and that reinforcement does not, that's in connector, it does not reinforce the middle where you can shoot all the way into the other side.
Yeah, connector is definitely going to be a problem for them, as well as trying to hold those yellow stairs successfully. Rashir already starting to take some shots here. They could go for a push onto projector as well, but this is a little bit of a risky play here. However, he's getting those cameras up late. See Mav taking a while to get those set up. Still has one more to set up as well. And of course, Rise is looking for them. Does see a lot of those open windows. So last time, a lot of the windows being open. But I think it was Gohan playing on him. They are definitely a little cautious about this approach because so many windows being open, and the drone shot mid-air. Nicely done by Gohak. I imagine he was probably spotted, potentially, but although it might not have actually jumped onto the drone just yet. And Shiro, though, trying to play his angle smart. Oh, Gohan pushing this. Fortunately for
I don't know if you want to face that, though. Gohan will still take the damage, and he'll get dropped. He's down on the floor. All they need is one more bullet, as Yogurts cannot find that, but Renshiro is ready. He takes down Moringa, baiting them by using the mute. Taking down the smoke, and now Livin will impact him with the Ash charge.
Nicely done.
Great play here. You see the 2 players from FaZe are playing all the way below. But Astro peeking up, taking down Yogurts. Not really a spot you'll expect from the bathroom here, but they'll take down the drone that is watching in here.
The amount of drone denial is just, I mean, the mute's not the one really denying the drone. It's just drones are getting shot the moment they enter. Oh, that is close again. Another drone denial. C4 set up for this.
They hear it, and they just pull back. They don't want to contest Mav, will just fall back.
Which was smart by Mav. Rip the Velcro and then just run for it. And they're going to be a little cautious pushing that. And you probably bought yourself a good 10 seconds.
Now, here, Rensher will not be setting up, of course, on that western window. That'll be the Ash setup. Here's the thing. They can just still stay in there and go in. Of course, Rise is the man with the diffuser. He takes a bit of damage. Mav will try to contest from the corridor. Rensher is now set up on the skylight. He can. This is okay. This is it. This is just taking control of the yellow stairs, but with a team kill. Oh no!
Great. That's gonna even things up a little bit.
Gonna make it a bit closer. 3v2. Still the advantage up for Millenium, as Rensher is now set up on the garage roof. This is the thing. They realized, okay, you know what? You have an open middle. We can just go in and push in through there. Just vault on in and use the fact that they're reinforced all the way on the right side to come in and have a safe plant. Cameraman, though, will get the information on the one player that's still set up in the back of the yellow stairs. This cameraman can quite possibly deny the plant, but Millenium, there you go. They're going to try to stick it here. They'll get the information. Can cameraman deny it? Yes, he will. There you go. 2 kills. No! Both Hicks and Rensher are down on the floor. Now 1v1. Livin has to come in and save it, but the diffuser's already down. Oh no, oh no, cameraman. They'll finally take down, and there you go. Livin will get the kill on cameraman, who almost clutches it here. Oh no, that was so close. He'll take down the Valcam and then immediately flick around as they still heard the pulse rotating around. The fact that he still got the 2 kills with the C4, that was so well timed.
But just a split second earlier, had he stopped the plant from going down, I don't think it was possible for him to go in and plant in time without having to deal with that pulse. So that was 100% timing. But getting 2 is a nice way to do it. Unfortunately, still losing the round.
Which is why I don't understand. Well, I can see why the Blackbeard still...
He didn't need to be inside.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
But I can see why he went inside, because since he got the second to last kill, we can still have the pulse that peeks around and just goes for a quick kill.
So we saw what the team kill was. He was going for a reset. Unfortunately, the Bearing 9, a little bit too lethal. Yeah. So unfortunate, as that was not an accidental team kill in the sense of just spraying into line of fire. It was more just, well, didn't work out for the reset like they wanted.
Just like when you try to reset with a deagle?
Yeah, you should probably just jump off the building next time. Just a tip. But we will see 2-2, though. This could really go either way. Both teams, as I said, this was the perfect decider because both these teams played this map very well during the season, had quite a few wins on it, showed they had strategies for it, but we're still seeing Mav pushing, and they're still not bringing Hard Destructor on Garage. This is a confusing to say the least, but we do have to wait again, it looks like, for one to return. They might be on a pause here. So this is where a team could be making the adjustments they need, but again, we're seeing a pause where they cannot bring a Hard Destructor and change things up. That cafeteria attack last time just felt a little flustered. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off any better a second time. So I just question these decisions in terms of not bringing a Hard Destructor. Like,
I can see why you would do it once.
Yeah.
But there's a certain point where you have to question that.
Trade the Lion out at this point. If you really need to bring those other operators, trade the Lion out. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait just a sec here for them to get ready. Oh, so close. They're really teasing us this one.
Oh, yes. It's definitely been a nail-biter so far. Millenium so close to a potential semifinal. Again, we'll remind you, for the first time in ages, we would have a French team in the semis. And well, we're back. Livin is back in game, and we're gonna check everybody in. So we'll unpause and get into the game. See Mira, Mute, Bandit, Smoke, and the Valkyrie being played. Pretty much standard pick. You can pretty much change things out. You know, you might not play a Mute and a Bandit.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need both, but it certainly can. I mean, it can help because they can deny droning, for example, to make sure that they can't drone the back and plan their cafeteria attack, as well as the Bandit to actually deny on the garage. Yeah, you pretty much help deny both sides to an extent.
And you can play them as well in the small cabinet room.
Yeah, so there's quite a few ways to use it, especially when you know the team doesn't even bring Hard Destructors. I mean, the batteries then maybe a little unnecessary, but the MP7 is still fun to use. It could definitely do its work.
If anything, it's been Europe that's been relying a bit more on the Mute than the Bandit, and it's very interesting to see both of them being introduced, playing, you know, having different effects really.
It's like the flip side of the double hard destructors, which of course FaZe brings none. Some nice attempts there to try and stop any kind of drones that might be hanging out there. I like the idea. That way you give yourself a little bit of extra time to set up those cameras, which both teams have been doing very late into the round, I've noticed. It seems to be something they struggle with. Oh, you know, when you set these up.
Maybe they just want to put them mostly inside.
Yeah, but it's, you know, you have the whole setup time, and it's not like you need to do a whole bunch of other than reinforce, but hey, what can you do? They're still going to take that extra time to set up. Hopefully not going to get killed mid-setup. Astro going to be setting up for another push onto admin, something they like to do even on the garage attack. Don't think they're going to be contested too much upstairs, just hasn't really been Millenium style to really fight over admin when they're guarding garage. Question comes down to that middle floor and whether or not they're going to fight that and then have a lot of rotations downstairs. Now, previously we did see sometimes the Legion make quite a difference on defending this downstairs. They're not bringing a Legion, so it's not going to be a factor, although I would have liked to see Yogurts actually do that instead of the Bandit, just because the garage isn't really going to be breached.
Yogurt's still downstairs here. They have set up all 3 Bandit batteries. I wonder where the 4th one is. I think it's set up by the small cup.
A lot of times you keep it in your pocket, though, just in case you need the Bandit trick after they Thatcher, but not going to matter. Not that you're going to try Bandit trick if they have Piano, though. In this case, Astro could take those out. Could try to take out some mute jammers as well, but, you know, he's going to decide there's already a drone there. Someone's droning for me. They just need to clear the bathroom. But, again, Millenium do not play the bathroom, so not a problem here for them. And Nav is going to try and fight down into Archives if he has to. He wants to come down to these Visa stairs safely, as does Moringa. Well, they are, at least they leave the door open down there. You can see the barbed wire, the drone's doing their job. They're getting it set up, it looks like to go down Spiral, something that worked pretty well last time. Are they going to be as ready for it? Are they going to be ready to contest? You see a mirror window looking to that hallway. They are definitely prepared for a push from that side. In this case, though, it did not pay off just yet. As Mav's going to go around to the other side. He's going to watch a lot of angles, though. He's got to play this smart. C4 rip does come out. Does quite a bit of damage, though, considering he was facing it. So still well played by Rise. He's just got to get more damage.
He'll get one more. Yeah, he'll get one more bullet right in the foot.
Oh, smoke will help with that as well.
But Mav will just rotate around. We've seen how strong he can be there. And oh, boy, that's the mirror window now has been popped. Grenade is going to get thrown right in to push Renshiro out of position here. Do they have another combatant to play with here, or
Twitch? He might even have to open up his own window at this point just to get an additional angle. Fortunately for him,
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
The grenade, though, no boy. Gohan will throw in a grenade perfectly timed and baited as well, as Renshiro will go down. Mav now has to push and now Rise very low in HP, but they will drop Gohan on the floor. They'll finally clean him up, and that's the fuser. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Livin will peek in and he'll get the kill on Mav. That's exactly what they needed. That's 2 more, a flurry of kills for Millenium with 1 more alive. That's Moringa, who's just holding an angle, playing a Renshiro. Will get 1, but can't get the second. Hicks will take him out, and Millenium will take the round.
Come on, FaZe. That is not the attack strat to use. I mean, I love the gumption in terms of trying to push just 2 doors that aggressively. The grenade's definitely working out in the favor, but that guy in the office was just replaced with another body at that point to get the kill, and then the peek from Livin was perfectly timed onto Mav, and that was unfortunate for him as he was forced to fight 2 different angles because he had to worry about pipes as well as the office door, and because of that, overexposed himself and just didn't have a good way to play that. The smoke was doing a great job as well, denying the door so that Blackbeard couldn't push up aggressively as well. So between the C4s and the smokes, they just completely denied that push. There was not much you could do. Again, you need pressure from that other side. You almost need someone just holding yellow stairs at that point even to put some additional pressure, but they just were too one-dimensional on that attack, and it's not working out. And now Millenium at the point advantage here. Just that, as you said, flurry of kills coming out from Millenium downstairs. Turn that around very, very quickly.
Attackers need to locate and
we are going to go to Garage again, here this time from FaZe. They are bringing out pretty much the same strat as last time. We saw how effective Legion was in terms of holding that off. They do have a hard breacher, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, rejoice. Millenium has brought a thermite.
Yeah, they are ready for this.
And really, FaZe do not have anything to deal with. There's no bandit, there's no mute. So this is going to be pretty much the best position if you're a thermite.
Well, you don't have to shoot the batteries from above. You have a Twitch just in case anyways. They had everything they needed, and then FaZe made it 1 step easier and said, you know what, just open it in the first 10 seconds anyways. Why not?
We saw that work for Rogue.
If we want to fight 2 angles, why not? But, well, I mean, they're going to be going for a heavy roam game, I imagine, instead. It's going to be a very retake-heavy strategy from FaZe. They're not concerned about holding the garage. They're more concerned about playing it from above, getting the angles down onto the bomb site potential plants. They could open up some holes in the floor above the garage door as well. Say, come on in, we'll shoot you in the top of the head. And so I think if you're Millenium, open the garage door right away, but then take piano. Take piano and hold it so that you can walk into the garage without getting shot in the head. And then I think you've got an easy potential plant because FaZe are just going to have to play aggression and retake at that point.
Renshaw will set up here on the west side. Let's see, Yogurt's still maneuvering around. Need to set up. They realize, okay, maybe it is time for us to push on that end. But I mean, it is all being done to clean up any stragglers that are left for FaZe. Very much Astro here on the Ella. But Wise will go in. He'll open up both sides of the wall. And they'll give Millenium the big advantage. That is the first bit of the checklist taken out. We are at 1:55 left. It's a very good and efficient play. You see the mirror window finally being set up. So they were waiting. Okay, so FaZe were like, okay, do they have Hard Destructor?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, where are they actually going to use it? Yes. Okay, now we'll set up the mirror window and that end. Very late, but Yogurts will catch Mav on the run out. And there he is, Mav.
Trying to be like Yogurts.
Yeah, he's trying to play the Yogurts, but he goes down on the floor.
Ooh, in the swing in, Yogurts gets killed trying to swing in the window.
That's one, and now Astro playing the Ella perfectly here. 2 kills going in the way of FaZe Clan. That'll avenge their fallen comrade. And so unfortunately for Astro, he does not have impacts anymore.
Now he's trapped in that bathroom.
Yeah, there we go. The smoke is going to open it from below, allow them to run on down. They can jump in. Livin has not been able to contest it. Just Rise on the Thermite. He'll spot one trying to contest here from the hallway, and they'll try to pinch them in. The Twitch coming around from the other side. But if you want to face Astro, you want to face an Ella so close, that's a problem here. Livin taking a bit of damage. You see the Ella will peek just the instant in the 2K, and then Astro the last one. What is that? FaZe just absolutely dismantling Millenium.
That was such a good play. I mean, Astro was absolutely key to that. As I said, once they opened the garage door, they needed to take piano, but Astro completely denied it with 3 kills and then a nice C4 well time. We've seen some good plays from right below that door, because when they're so concerned and focused on pushing Astro, that is the perfect time to hit them, because you can't look at both. You can't look down at the hole. You don't have time to pay attention to it. I mean, Astro even getting caught by the E1D, you see for a second there.
Boy.
And there is Gohan with that nice 2K and the finish by Astro. Astro just playing it perfectly. They did not need to fight the garage because they could fight so well upstairs. Absolutely worked. I don't know if that would work a second time, but that definitely worked for FaZe that time. They gave all the advantage to Millenium, and they just completely threw it away.
That is an extra round here that goes to the favor of FaZe Clan, or Brazilians, a step closer to possibly taking this 2-1.
But 3-3 is exactly the scoreline that should be. This is fated to go to overtime at this point, pretty clearly, but we could see 2 in a row. Potentially, it's just, I don't know, I'm feeling this is definitely a 6-5 kind of map, especially for these two teams. Although we could see some more fun peekouts from Yogurts like we saw last time.
Oh, well, there we go, 3-3. Now back in the game is Millenium. Will be defending the top side this time, and as a team that really knows how to attack the console chambers, they should know how to defend it as well. There are 2 sides to this coin. Maybe Millenium have something figured out.
Well, they're definitely setting up late cameras yet again. Renshiro still holding 3 here. It's not set them up. They're spending so much time just opening windows trying to get some cross ventilation. It's not really, I don't know, it's like they need to decide how to set it up first. They could go throw cameras out at any point, but there is no IQ this time from FaZe, so they will not be able to spot them right away. However, you can definitely see those flying out the window potentially. And he's going to check that it's just in the right position to make sure that that's worth it. But they probably not going to fall for the Astro again, playing his usual. We do have Livin actually on the Pulse. That should be interesting to be played from below like we've seen previously. Very effective in doing so.
Astro will now drop on in. You see the Twitch drone inside. It happens a lot where there's still like pulses that'll play all the way downstairs. And sometimes you'll see the...
well, Mav had to fight him last time for exactly that reason.
And last time you saw Livin just going down. That's why you bring that blitz as well. It definitely does help.
Gone watching for that run out. He was being watched as well at the same time, got that camera, and still going to continue to watch that run out. They don't have a lot of claymores set up here, as it looks like either of the two at yellow stairs don't have claymores on them, so they've got to watch that run out carefully. Going in, going to start opening up the soft wall though as much as possible to give them some angles inside, as Moringa is going to put additional pressure on anyone playing in the B-bomb.
There we go. They'll finally open up the exit stairs here. They'll come on in. See Moringa going all the way up top. Takes a bit of damage as well on that play. But Mavis is going to be sitting on the side. Now, the fact that they opened up the entirety of the wall on the side means that the cubby is going to be so important to hold, because you can even spray it all the way from the usual mirror window in the connector. Of course, non-existent here. We do not have a mirror, unfortunately. Of course, Renshiro on the MPX of the Valkyrie that you hear fire off in the distance. Moringa is still taking more damage, and Hicks will get the first one. That is Gohan eliminated. Cannot run in on the Ash. Get more damage on Astro, but Yogurts will go down on the Legion. However, he has been able to set up most of his goo mines, as Moringa will finally connect and take down Renshiro. Valkyrie eliminated.
They've definitely got control of these yellow stairs still, and that's pretty much the last piece that needs to come here. If they take control of these yellow stairs, this attack is very easy to pull off at this point, and Lion's going to lock them down to do it.
Try to go for a spot here, but no, Rise is ready. He gets one, he gets two, no! Cameraman is ready for him. Now 3v2, 28 seconds left on the clock, and there is still a smoke alive here for Hicks. He plays the mind games, and now Cameraman is on the floor. Two left alive, and he has gas canisters to play with, living with one on Mav, and the last alive is Moringa. He'll have to jump in, but they have all the positions to play against him. 10 seconds on the clock. Will they use the canisters? They're just gonna pull out the shotgun to the face, Moringa! Set down, son! That's Hicks to clean him up.
Nicely done. They just completely played the yellow stairs in their advantage, keeping two alive there. Yeah, they lost one of them, but just keeping two people on those yellow stairs completely pressured them out, because one of them brought the diffuser, and that ended the game for them right there. Losing that diffuser on those stairs against the shotgun, but beautifully played mind games by Hicks. Absolutely crucial to that round, getting a kill and then finishing off with those mind games on the Lion, dropping the diffuser, holding the shotgun, and waiting for that Blackbeard to just become a skeet shoot at that point. Unfortunate.
All right, Devin here. This can go to overtime, or we can just see the French in the semi-final. It all kind of comes down to this round. Will FaZe continue that energy that we saw on map 2 as they were playing on Clubhouse, or will Millenium bring it back? Let's head into round number 8 to see how this one plays out.
So close between these guys. This is how it should be. If it doesn't go over to overtime, I'd almost be disappointed at this point. But these guys playing their hearts out. FaZe, I mean, Latin America has a second chance in the next match if they can't make it here, but I do not think FaZe want to go home. FaZe are the top contenders from Latin America, so if they go out here, that doesn't spell well for Liquid.
10 seconds remaining.
The crowd definitely trying to help out here to bring in as much energy as possible to both of our teams. See, with the action phase starting up here. Remind you that FaZe are on the defense. There you go. Mav will have to long arm it and then finally throw out his camera. And I wonder where Millenium will go. Will they go for a pinch with a Blackbeard playing on the other side here on the western window, or will it just be a play from
probably a little bit of both? Renshiro tends to be very flexible. A lot of times these teams will attack from admin first with the Blackbeard, use it to help clear admin, and then switch around to the other window. Now that becomes a pinch that the Blackbeard helps do both on. Pinch one and then the other, and it works very well on the execute if you can stay alive on it and get a couple people into admin. So we'll see if they're able to pull it off, because this is, well, the most important round for them to do that. So far attacks have been somewhat successful this team. They just have to watch for any runouts or peaks. And most of all, they need to stop Cameraman on his pulse. There we go. There's one of those cameras down. If they can stop Cameraman, which they can track with IQ from Rise, that could be a big problem because that's what they're going to count on to stop the actual plant. We saw last time when, for whatever reason, Renshiro was inside when he didn't need to be. It cost him his life, but they did ultimately win that round. I imagine he's going to be a little bit smarter about it this time if they get into that position. They do have admin control now.
Yeah, Livin moving in here. They'll spot something, at least misfires down below. There we go. Maybe trying to pull his opponents back for just a second as Renshiro taking quite a bit of damage here on the balcony. You don't want to stand on the balcony. You want to give yourself a tiny angle to play through into that connector because that's where you're really looking for the front.
Oh, that deployable shield, though, in the corner, that is saving his life against Renshiro. And yeah, they know where he's at. They're going to have to get him out of there. Yogurts, though, doing a fantastic job of exactly that.
Yeah, Moringa will go down here, and Gohan will go down as well. That's Renshiro saving the day here. You can just see Millenium coming in and going in for the plant. Wow. Here, one more. Can he get it? No, he cannot just yet. The Yiga will peek, and Yogurt will win the round. Astro, can he actually take this the way of Millenium? There's still Cameraman and Mav alive. That's the Pulse and now the Valkyrie.
C4's aplenty.
Yeah, they're coming around from the backside as all 5 are still alive in Millenium. They pick up Renshiro's Cameraman is basically busy with the fight against Livin. And unfortunately, that's not the place you want to be because you want to throw out the Nitro and it will hit. Wow. Yogurt's going down to the floor, but he can't hit the kill on the Twitch. Livin not turn it around himself. And Diffuser, though, will get planted. No more C4 to play with here. Hicks will get the kill on Mav. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to call it here. Cameraman will try to come in and save the day for FaZe. He's going to go through the last 4. Millenium here will take a bit more damage down to barely any health, but he'll get one more. Renshiro picked off on the ground. Low on health, he'll just struggle, then push, and get one down on the floor. Now he'll spot from below, trying to use the cardiac sensor to maybe spot one of the players, but no, he'll get peeked here, taken out. Livin will clutch the round, and ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in over a year and a half, we'll see France represented in the semifinals. La France victorieuse. Finally, Millenium in the semis.
Absolutely earned it. Even when they were down, they played so well. Millenium, fantastic season for them all around. Even if they don't make it any further from here, this is a huge accomplishment for them. They played so well. They took maps off Penta twice during the season, both in their initial match and the rematch. They came in here, they knocked out the top seed from a dominant region, Latin America, who've been in every LAN event, playing very strong, and it has just been fantastic for them.
And of course, a lot of respect here being given by both teams. That is the best thing about esports, is that respect is the main thing, especially when you have to play against 2 teams that are this good. Of course, there's a lot of respect going through it between the players here. Millenium, of course, able to take the victory 2-1, a very hard-fought